hello everybody. Welcome to the pre Moonbase 2 show. Me, Andy. Hello, Big D. You're here this week.
Because news was a tad lacking, so we figured we'd talk toys.
Well, no, it's the cycle. It's News Week, then
So this
Toy
is
Week.
yeah.
It's the way of things.
No, I like it.
I actually haven't looked at the news for this week. I don't know if there's actually been anything. I imagine there probably hasn't been.
I'm trying to think now.
I don't think there has, because I mean, last week we got a
the
lot of stuff.
silhouette's gone up for the Unicron Trooper
Oh,
retool of Megatronus.
oh,
Just for silhouette.
yeah,
Going to get revealed this week. Which is
yeah.
like, okay.
I guess the next big reveals will be like August-ish kind of time, I suppose.
I think so. I mean, San Diego time.
Yeah. I imagine that's the next time we'll get like a big hoof of like, here's the new things. That'll be a while away.
There's still a decent whack of stuff to come out over the next few months, so it's not too bad a situation.
In terms of releases, or do you mean reveals?
Releases, I think.
Okay, because stuff that we know about, which is like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind that because we know about them. I don't care about it. I know about it. It's the stuff I don't know about which I'm interested in. I'm looking at the future green hills, whether they be green or whether they be dried out and brown, I suppose.
Yeah. But it's fine. Next week should have some rain, so it should cool off a bit. Thank Christ.
Well, I meant metaphorically, but yeah, that as well.
Well, yeah.
Are you ready to talk about some Combiner Wars, Big D?
I am. Do you think we can do more than how many did we last week? We did 3 individual mods, wasn't it, last week?
We did Drag Strip, Firefly, Skydive,
Air raid breakdown. Oh, and Dead End. So we got 5.
Yeah.
No, 6.
5 or 6, something like that. Do I think we'll get more than that this week? Ooh. Well, Rook hasn't been used too many times.
You say that. I looked into how many.
Yeah. I mean, relative to some of the other ones, like Streetwise has definitely been used a lot. So I'm like, yeah. Anyway, let's get some music going, and then we'll get straight into it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, music time.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
And welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decayed Andy, and I'm here with Big D, which means Combiner Wars are back on the menu, baby. Hello, Big D.
Hey, man. It never ends.
It doesn't. As we were talking pre-show, will we get past 5 figures today in terms of talking about the deluxes? Will we leave the deluxe realm and finally move on to Voyager class? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe, but there are a lot of repaints and retools of all of these figures, as we know. And Exelhead says, I feel sorry for the troop builders buying multiple leader class Unicron soldiers, in quotations. This was also to do with the conversation me and Big D had pre the show. There will be people out there who are very silly and willy-nilly with their money who will do it. Good luck to them. Yeah.
It's gonna be a choice. It's actually one I don't think I'll be partaking in because.
Oh no.
I mean, I have a Unicron soldier already from the original lineup.
And I mean, even if when they go on sale, because they're leader figures, right? They'll like be 30 quid, like minimum, probably 35 quid on a hard sale.
Yeah,
and that's like that's leader Blitzwing sale. That's a hard sale.
True.
I don't know if we'll ever see sales like that again unless they just never sell. Which might be the case.
Was it Star Action Figure were really good at posting up articles on their socials where they discuss exclusives coming in at deep discount and lines that didn't get wide distribution outside of like Pulse and things suddenly arriving in big drops that are dirt cheap. And they were saying that apparently Hasbro reps told them that the issue that led to that had kind of been resolved, so we shouldn't see as many. But somehow I still keep seeing stuff crop up on there, and it's like on them and in demand, and go like, wow, that's really cheap.
Yeah, and you can never predict it either. You can never be certain, like, oh yeah, I'll just wait for this figure because this one will definitely go on a hard discount. It's like, oh, I don't know, maybe it will. Always the
I
gamble.
mean, I have no clue what's going on with distribution for the aerial bots, because or any of the actual combiner limbs, because they're just and
Well, are they hard to find? Oh, well.
Well, they sell it quickly on pre-order,
Hmm.
and then you never can tell if they're going to hit retail or not.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, well, it's like I bought the first two Age of Prime's aerial bots. One I ordered online just because it was cheap in a sale. So I thought, all right, I'll pick it up. The one I picked up because it was that weekend I met you guys in Nottingham.
Oh, yeah.
I popped into Smith's beforehand. I had it. I was like, you know, I'll grab it because it was actually a little discount as well. So I thought, cool. The other two aerial bots, though, Fireflight and Air Raid, no, Skydive rather, not a chance. But they came, they went, and I mean they sold out so quickly on pre-order it wasn't funny. And then my local Smiths, I think, had them in for a week.
A whole week.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were gone.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's sad news for both you and me, though. Not anything relevant to the podcast or anything that important, but our holiday has been cancelled down to Nottingham this year.
Yeah. Sadly, Bring Out Your Lead's been postponed a year.
A month before, 2 months before the actual event kicks off.
Yeah.
Which is really shitty to do. And prior to that, any hints that if it was going to get cancelled, they said they were going to put it on in August. But now it's just like, no, we're just not doing it this year. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, it's sucky, unfortunately.
It's really lame.
Yeah. But hey, from my perspective, that means I can save all my pennies to spend at TF Nation Swindon.
That's true. So, you've got less to worry about, I suppose, which is nice.
I say that we've seen they've confirmed what dates Warhammer 11th is going for pre-order, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah, that's like pre-orders are not next week, but the week after.
No, it is next week. Next weekend's when it starts.
Yeah, next week are the pre-orders, and that's going to be one day, and they're all going to go probably, potentially.
More than likely.
And then, so yeah, it's not next week, but the week after is when you'll actually begin. Are you splitting your box with anyone, or are you not? I can't remember.
No, I don't tend to split these boxes anymore.
Well, damn.
I gave Gruff for Skaven from the last AOS one, but
sure,
that's because he did me some artwork. All the others I've kept for the most part.
Oh, damn. Okay, nice.
I have enough orcs that these ones will kind of give me a fairly sizable war mob to mess with, and Space Marines, I always have room to kick back some Space Marines.
You have a problem. It's fine.
Every Space Marine could become a Space Wolf. It just takes a little bit of time and patience with a knife.
It just takes one fursuit, and they can be a furry.
Look, I've spent hours this week applying tiny brass-etched runes to Dreadnought chassis. Our good Mr. Darren from the Fluff has been applying studs to his tanks. I've been applying.
I bet that would have taken for fucking ever. Because adding the studs to things, especially if you're going to like full rivets, can be really frustrating.
I think it was might have been a Sakaran battle tank he was doing.
How many rivets did he put on? Do you know?
Enough that I was getting worried for his sanity at one point.
Oh, so good many hours of studying. Oh man, that would have sucked.
Yes, yeah.
Makes it look better though, but rough. Yeah. Shall we talk about Combiner Wars though?
We probably should, because there's a lot to go through again.
There be a lot to get through, and we're going to be talking about the last of the StunderCon ones, in quotations, last of the StunderCon ones that was revealed, which was another jobber shove in their character, which was Off-Road, He was
Yeah.
sporting a brand new mold at the time. Is that right? Brand new at the time?
Yeah. He
A
was a
brand new
brand new.
mold at the time. And not actually a bad
No,
dude, to be
it's
honest.
not
I
bad.
don't have off-road. I have the KO oversized metal version of off-road. Because I
Okay.
wanted him, but I didn't want the Hasbro version.
Yeah.
So I have a very big, hefty version of him, and he's he's definitely a Combiner Wars figure.
Yeah.
He has all the benefits and the negatives. The tiny waist area, the big giant Combiner Wars rivet thing in his chest. But he
Yep.
does everything reasonably well. He does
He
have like
does.
ratchets in his elbow again, bizarrely for
Mm.
whatever reason they decided to do that. But he's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got that slightly thin waist joint going on at the
Yeah.
hip, which is not great, but it doesn't have the little divot that was a problem on some of the jets we talked about last time.
Yes, I
But
want to say that it's a little bit thicker than some of the jets, like
Mhm.
particularly like Firefly was the worst one we were talking about last time. This is
Yeah.
bigger than that. It's still, like you say, noticeably thin, but
Mm.
not nearly as bad. Thankfully.
No, and I will say I quite like this mod overall. To be fair, I've got I think I've got most of this mold's redos as well.
Ooh.
I think I had Trailbreaker. I may have gotten rid of him because I think I shifted a few of the latter ones. But I can't be sure on that point. I know I don't have Ratchet
Okay.
and some of the club exclusive ones, but all the main release ones that they Hasbro put out, I've got. And you know what? I like Off Road. He like all the Stunticons. He's a goon. He's an idiot, but he fits in with the group. And although he does basically have Wild Riders deco in car mode, the robot, he has enough stuff different, but it's not just like he's not just a cover act,
And he's more interesting, like in robot mode, than Alpha Bravo, who was doing Slingshot's color scheme, but not quite right either. I think my problem with Off-Road is, although I like his color scheme, he does look more like a background character.
He does,
rather than the rest of the Stunticons. I was also never a big fan of how the front of the car doesn't really transform. It's very Micromasters in a sense, but instead of it like the front of the car just kind of folding and hanging down behind his back, which strangely enough some of the other Combiner Wars figures do that we'll get onto, it just kind of moves backwards and down a little bit.
Yeah. Actually, now you mention it, that's actually a really good way to describe a lot of Combiner Wars transformation pattern, because they all tend to share this with a couple of things. They all tend to share the same basic geometry for how they do the transformation.
Yeah.
And if you take a step back, they probably resemble the Micromasters more than anything else.
I wonder if a third party would be bold enough to try and do these figures as Micromasters.
That could be fun.
Would it be that difficult? No,
I mean,
not really. I mean, you can upscale them. You can definitely downscale them.
I mean, I'll be honest. If someone offered me a set of these that didn't have the combiner gimmick, but were just downsized to like scale, I could be convinced by that.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but if we're talking about a third-party company, they're going to be reasonably expensive anyway. I think they could probably still do you could do a smaller ratchet joint, I think. I think it'd still be possible to make them combiners as well. But I don't disagree with you. Like, if they wanted to take that out, and if Hasbro wanted to do them at Micromaster scale for like £5 each or less, it'd have to be £5 or more, I suppose. But you know what I mean. I think that could be quite nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what I would probably do if I was them was I would keep the transformations the same and the basic like outline of the cars and whatnot the same. Maybe I'd change the heads and then I'd change the color schemes and then I'd just make them into like new characters. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Same idea as the Micromasters, but a toy that you can fit in your pocket.
Yeah.
Which, granted, kids probably don't care about these days because it's more of a digital thing that kids are into.
Yeah.
But maybe a nice nod to the past.
I mean, Hot Wheels still sell reasonably well, so
I wonder what their market is. Is it mainly men that buy them, like collectors, or is it kids?
I honestly
kids will buy it, but
I have no idea because I mean, anytime I pop into Smith's or the website, I tend to look and see what Hot Wheels are on offer and stuff. And I mean, they do cover quite a broad gamut of price points and
Oh, I bet,
styles.
yeah.
I mean, there's some which go well into the tens, and they're still just the same size cars, but they're like the premium decos and tie-ins and stuff.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
£10 for a Hot Wheels toy, even if it is premium. That's mad.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking I want to get some to use for Gaslands.
Yeah, probably don't want the £10 ones, I would guess. So we have Off-Road, who's pretty nice. He comes with a decent axe that doesn't really fit anywhere on the vehicle mode. It just kind of plops on the side. And the hand-foot gun, which kind of combines reasonably well into the vehicle mode, mostly. It's fine. Not very good hand or foot, as per usual, but it's like, yeah, it's fine. So, now we begin, don't we, Big D? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
so
6,
many
7,
8,
9. Sorry, I'm opening them all. 10.
It's fine.
11,
I'll keep talking.
12, 13.
When people talk about line fatigue,
yes,
Combiner Wars is the poster child.
Unless you are a glutton for punishment and love having the same thing 13 times. Which, to be fair, Big D, I think you said you did like this mold. Do you have all 13 versions of this mold?
Not
all.
Oh,
no,
13.
you said you're missing Ratchet and a few others, right?
Yeah, because I'm not quite well, I'm insane by a certain standard of insane, but not that bad.
Relative. Everything's relative.
They cranked these out, didn't they? They
oh,
really
yeah.
did.
One that did make sense, and I almost feel was the more logical use for this mold was Ratchet. Sorry, was Iron, well, subsequently Ratchet, but Ironhide. Ironhide it's not a perfect, like, this is Ironhide's G1 vehicle mode, and he's a new version. It's close enough, though.
Yeah, it's a nice compromise between the Ironhide of G1 mixed with a bit of a styling for movie Ironhide for the alt mode.
Yeah,
that works.
It's a 4x4 truck thing, whatever those American cars are called. That works reasonably well for Ironhide. I'm not big fan of the head. The head's like mostly correct, but he doesn't have as big of a crest on the top of his head. That's a little bit on the small side.
I think it is restricted by the needs of having to be a combiner limb on that score, so they've had to compromise.
I think you're right.
But it does the job, and I like that his foot weapon, at least in this case, they've tried to make it mimic movie Ironhide's arm cannons and how he uses it, which is that's fun.
Or I guess you could maybe say the chromed weapon inside of the back of the G1 toys.
Yeah, that's as well. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm sad that the axe didn't have any paint on it. Like, it's completely grey. The gun has like a metallic-y, super shiny metal painted over some of it, but not all of it. I imagine the part that isn't is because that's probably the more like paint would rub off kind of area. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think the axe could have done with something, at least on the blade, right?
Yeah, because it's not like he's drowning in paint as it is. I mean, he's barely got more. I think he's got the same amount of deco as Off-Road does, in fairness, just applied differently.
I'd say so, yeah, surely.
And I mean, he's got the yellow stripe, but that's. I mean, that's. I'm not entirely sure.
A stripe. He had a red stripe.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
Ironhide generally, you can never tell until it releases if the toy's going to have the stripe or not.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah. And this one, they at least gave it, even if it's possibly a little too mustardy in color. You could probably. It even needs an extra coat to be owned a little brighter, I think. But
you might be right. You might be right.
But it's fair. That's important.
Yeah, because the new Ironhide that's coming out in that 3-pack. Does that one have it? Offhand, I can't remember because you mentioned it, and I was thinking, does that 3-pack one have it? Because I remember the original Studio Series one didn't.
I think he does.
Okay, because I also think the Battle Damage one didn't as well. I don't think that's the one I have.
I mean, Hasbro seems to be on a mission to make anyone who wants Ironhide want to commit murder for the last 6 years, because how many Ironite have we got? And then every time it's come out, sold, and then there's been the announcement of another Ironhide that's just ever so slightly, and it's like, oh, come on.
I think at this point we're going through the previous like wave of figures, which were like where people were like, "There's no need for translucent plastic here," because I think it's easy to assume that we're gonna get a redo of Ratchet in the same style with maybe Braun. Braun might come along with Ratchet, and then maybe someone else will be thrown in that pack as well. I don't know who, but that's how it feels to me. So Ironhide, not too bad, pretty solid. Probably the logical use of the mold.
I mean, Ironhide was the wave. It kind of threw people because this is when they started introducing. They moved away from the classic Scramble City teams to the G1 characters, the guys who have been combiners, which it kind of threw a lot of people because wasn't expected, but it gave us a bit of a hint as to what was to come for the next couple of years, where they would use whatever that line that range particular gimmick was to slot in characters who actually hadn't had a figure in a hot minute and get them back out there. So not ideal, not necessarily a bad thing though either. So
next up we have a Fun Pub subscription figure. So one of those are the ones which are like, oh, I would have liked this, but then went, never mind. It was garbage, whatever you want to call them, garbage. It's a ruckus. For some reason, they gave him a flim-flammy, silly name. I don't know why.
It was Fun Pub. I've given up to know what they do, where their name means.
It has to be some kind of legal woo-woo, right? It has to be.
Yeah.
You know what's annoying? It's like we've had like a ruckus in 2016, which was this one, and then 2024, and previous to that, 1988. So the two ruckus figures we've had have both been exclusives of some form.
Yeah.
Fun Pub one and then a 2-pack one. I would have liked either of them, but the Amazon exclusive packs were a little bit pricey for my blood and not the easiest to get. Like they vanish quickly and now are very expensive, which is like, ugh.
That's annoying because I mean I picked up this pack. I think I got it for. I'm sure I got it for some reduction.
Because I picked up the other one, the Barrage pack.
Yeah, because there's Decepticons in, and then there was this one that came with. He came with Bludgeon, didn't he? Because Windsweeper came.
Yes, that might be why I didn't pick up this one because I liked Ruckus, but I didn't like Bludgeon. I think that was it. I tried to pick up the other one and had a pre-order in on Amazon, and they cancelled it. I was like, that's Amazon. You know how it is.
But I was going to say I've had that happen with Pulse. I've had pre-orders in, and
that makes even less sense with Pulse. With Amazon, it kind of makes sense, but with Pulse, that's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, it's like I put my pre-order in. Come on.
Yeah, you're the company. You shouldn't be having to cancel pre-orders. If you're a sub shop, like a third-party shop, like again Amazon, fine. It's annoying. It sucks. It's lame, but whatever. You're Hasbro. You shouldn't be doing it on your main site. That's stupid. Ruckus though, or Garbage, whatever you want to call him. Again, not too bad of a use of this mold.
Yeah, I dig it. They've tried to apply the classic color scheme for what is a Doom buggy to this 4x4, and you know what? I kind of dig it. It's scrappy. It's a bit messy. It feels like it fits the character quite nicely, you know.
There are parts I'm not a big fan of. Like I don't like how the purple, like the joint for the roof of the car that allows the front to move backwards. That bit's purple, and then the rest of the roof is beige. I think it kind of throws that off a little bit too much.
And you can kind of see where they've painted over the beige with the purple.
Yes,
on the side. It's a tad messy there, which it's especially egregious when it's an exclusive figure. You have to pay for a subscription service to get, because you're paying a bit more. You expect it's something you don't necessarily mind it as much if it's a mainline toy. It's annoying, but for something like this, you'd think they'd maybe have taken a little bit of extra care to avoid that.
It's odd that they couldn't get more of the car parts like molded in purple rather than having to
Yeah.
paint over that beige. It's odd.
Mm.
There's also a bit of a discrepancy seemingly between the painted beige and the plastic hard parts like the combiner wars
Yeah.
port and the waist joint. They look like, at least from the image we have here, like they're a little bit off. Not as bad as yellow
Yeah.
usually, but it's
I
not
think
quite
the
right.
paint, I think, has a slight gloss sheen to it, which the plastic doesn't, which doesn't help either.
Yeah. There's
But
something about it.
that's kind of the unfortunate nature of yellowy paints. They do tend to get them to go on. They normally do tend to have a bit of a gloss and to give them a bit more strength.
It would be odd though for that chest area to be painted beige when everything, like mostly of the car, seems to be in beige. Why would
Yeah,
they mold? I don't know. It's odd.
but it looks like it's the same purple plastic on the interior of it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
So yeah,
it's
it's
odd.
a weird. Yeah.
I do like the painted inner part of the truck bed, whatever that
Yeah.
part's called.
Yeah.
That's been painted clearly. I like that. I think that's nice added
Mm.
detail. It's nice. It's it's got some issues here and there.
unexpected. You don't get that all the time. So
Like
yeah, overall, I think this is a valiant effort. It was nice that they had a ruckus available. You know, 'cause-
yeah. If I was to loosen paint apps to make it like Hasbro-y, I'd take off the old Toy Deco suspension stickers
the
on
bits
the
on
front.
Yeah.
I'd
Yep.
take off them, and I'd probably get rid of the light blue line across the side of the car. Obviously, I'd cast the plastic a little bit differently as well.
Yeah.
And I think you could probably make an argument that this could work as a standard Hasbro figure
Mm.
with a little bit of tweaking here and there. I think it could still work.
Yeah. I
But
can
yeah,
see
it's
that.
pretty good. Pretty good. Not bad. Added well to the Mayhem Attack Force kind
Absolutely.
of crew.
Yeah.
The Combiner team for the Combiner Wars at the time. There's also the United not United, the Unite Warriors version of Ironhide, which is mostly the same. It's a little different, but not to a huge degree. It looks
Yeah.
like most of the detail on the robot mode has been kind of changed here and there from like a bright silvery gray to just more of a darker, more gunmetal-y kind of gray here and there.
Yeah, I think they've tried more to get the animation cel-shaded style in with that.
Same with the windows. The windows are more metallic blue than they are just like bright blue.
Yeah.
And the weapon has been done as just silver, consistent silver, so there's no shiny plastic on it, shiny metal paint on it.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That they've, in some ways, it's actually a little less premium than the deco on the main.
I think it's to keep it consistent, right? Because
Yeah,
otherwise
which
they
I
need to
can
do the rest of the hands kind of silvery. So
yeah, that makes sense.
I guess. I guess as well, like with having the more metallic silvery kind of paint, having it dull makes it kind of blend in more with the rest of the figure rather than it being really kind of stand out and almost obnoxious compared to the rest of the figure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's odd. It's still an odd choice regardless compared to the American one.
A little bit, yeah.
Then there is Breakdown from the Unite Warriors pack, the Galvatron one. This is a zombie Breakdown, though nothing about the way this version looks zombie at all.
Yeah, he doesn't look zombie at all, does he?
No, he doesn't even have the eye patch. Now, obviously, this is Unite Warriors, so they haven't. This is just a straight repaint. They haven't remolded the head or anything like that. So, in terms of a reuse of a mold, making him Breakdown makes sense. The reason he's a zombie was because that's what they wrote him in the lore to be, more so than design wise to look.
Yeah.
So, I think in terms of like an idea for a figure, I think this again works well as an idea.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a smart call.
think with the limitations of what the mold had to work with, I think they've actually done not a bad job here, because the truck, because it's cast in a much darker plastic and the darker color they used for the weapon, that kind of helped heighten up the vehicle. It makes it look more oppressive, even though it's exactly the same as Ironhide and Outruns versions. It just looks a bit chunkier somehow. If it's just a change in deco, that's it. They've added dark blue, black windows, silver streak along the running boards and the bumpers, and that's it. And yet somehow it kind of works.
It does almost feel it's missing detail. Like it's quite plain in a lot of ways. Not like I think when you just like look at it, you're like, yeah, this is okay. It looks like Breakdown, but when you compare it to Ruckus, who we just looked at, who had like almost too much like vibrant detail and stuff, this feels almost like he's missing stuff from him. He's not, but you know.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think they've used a lot of the paint on the interior of the robot because I think they painted a lot of the skeleton robot.
I mean the fact they painted the combiner wall joint in itself is kind of
Yeah.
Where is that painted or is that molded? Because obviously those are two different parts, the top part and the bottom part.
You know what? I think that's two different colors of molded plastic they've used.
Yeah, because it'd be too crazy for them to like paint that because the paint would just come off. So it has to be.
It's interesting though. That's really interesting though they've done that because you'd assume that the combiner ports at least would be the thing that would be on the same sprue. If anything, but
I would have thought so. Yeah, it's odd.
Mm.
XL Head says 2 iron hide for Prime's combiner arms fit so well. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, the red torso and then the red arms would work pretty well. I wonder if two zombie breakdowns would work well for his legs.
Oh, actually, yeah, that probably would invest. Yeah.
Just bigger Optimus Prime, isn't it? XL Head says, "Hey, at least Prime Knockout got his boyfriend back in the United form." True, even though he's a little skinnier in a lot of ways. I think this was a very smart use of the mold from Japan without having to do too much. Now, one that got a new head and very slight retool was First Aid. Actually, the vehicle got quite a heavy bit of retooling, but it is the same transformation frame. It's more like the shell around him was changed. So all of the car bits were changed into
more of a proper ambulance style rescue vehicle,
like a Mad Max off-road roll cage kind of one.
It is a very heavy-duty ambulance, I will admit. But...
If you said it was from Judge Dredd, I'd be like, yeah, I could see that. These look like bulletproof windows, bulletproof doors kind of ambulance. Gives it a good look. It doesn't look wimpy, that's for sure.
No, and the fact that First Aid is the pacifist Autobot, or one of them. And he's the first medic in this lineup, and they give him a bloody axe, which is kind of fun. I dig that.
I mean, it will help open people up, I suppose, for surgery.
This is true, yeah.
Aggressively so, but the head mold is very good First Aid head as well.
Yeah, it's bang on First Aid. I mean, this was around time where Modern Meets VI / Lost Light was coming out, and First Aid was a pretty major character for a chunk of that run. So it was great to have First Aid. And I mean, I had First Aid back in G1, and honestly, his ambulance mode was a bit it was classic, kind of like 80s, 70s style ambulance. So it was a little bit...
Japanese ambulance as well.
Yeah.
Which feel like that. So, I don't want to die. I don't want to go on one of those.
Yeah. This, though, gives him the alt mode gives him a little bit more bite. It feels more... The fact it's got rescue downside, it feels more like a rescue vehicle than just an ambulance vehicle.
Yeah, it does fit the theme as well. Combine out wars. It's not just a happy little ambulance trundling down. It's like you say, something a bit more mean. Got some teeth to it, even though
it's a really nice update of the character.
Yeah,
you know, the robot mode is unmistakably First Aid. The alt mode, yes, it could be anyone. It's an ambulance. That gives you like potentially 4 characters it could be just in the Autobots. But yeah, I dig it. I like it.
Obviously, the plastic for the red and the Combiner Wars port are a little off again compared to the red paint. I don't think it's too much of a detriment because it does like
no, in this case it helps I think it helps breaking up because I mean it's the same. The red on port is the same as his legs and his biceps.
Yes,
because they painted so it's a different shade to the other edge, which I think works really well though because it means he's just not a mass of the same shade.
I agree. I think it would have been good though if the waist joint itself was painted red to match the torso. That would be my only thing to help. Again, it would help separate the legs out. But apart from that, it's like also would it be nice if they painted the red for the sirens on top, because they look very very dark, way too dark for like lights on top of the vehicle mode. But it's a minor complaint. He's a good looking robot, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, there was a Autobot Ratchet figure that you could only get, seemingly, at least one of the versions, at BotCon 2006 as a customization version. We have 3 versions, it seems. In the final analysis, so there's one version here, Papa Smurf version as well, and a Metamorphin Dictus version. Dudicus version. Okay, so yeah, it seems like people painted him up slightly differently in different ways.
These are just delightfully silly.
Yeah,
these are fun,
and obviously it all works. He does have a brand new head to make him more ratchety, and it looks like the Combiner Wars weapon and hand foot gun are for some reason translucent blue plastic, which is quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, the axe, sure. The hand is a little more worrying, but it
yes,
works.
Definitely. Yeah. Yes, that's a fair point. Yeah, and then obviously people are painted up in different ways. The Dudicus version that you mentioned is, as we can see, a G2 kind of inspired version. So he's got pink windows and then the G2 logos on him. Some interesting redos. Obviously, this wasn't an official version, and it was very, very limited. So if you didn't get him at the show, you probably weren't going to get him at all.
Yeah.
Unless you did him yourself, I suppose. In the age of 2026, you could just print a Ratchet head and then just paint a off-road or whoever body, I suppose, couldn't you, technically?
Yeah. I mean, you could probably just go on a first aid, stripped the red paint off most of the torso, painted for Combiner Port in white.
That's what I mean. Yes, of course.
Head swap. Jobs are good.
Yeah. XL Head says, First Dave can't give humans robot legs without chopping them off. That's true. Be a shame if you lost your legs there, wouldn't it? Slicey. So also from the customization class, because apparently you didn't have to just make Ratchet, but there was also Medics, who was using the first aid head, and then obviously the first aid mold as well, and then it's just kind of painted up as Medics. Medics we saw in 2023 as a redo of what was Crankcase, and they used pretty much the same colors. What was this guy from originally?
Rescue Robots, I think.
Oh,
is it Rescue Robots?
Fiction Prime Wars Trilogy marketing material.
It was a Rescue Robot. Well, that's where he originated from, anyway.
Okay. Well, design-wise, I don't think this looks too bad.
Rescue Robot character of the same name.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. I don't think this is like crazy color scheme in terms of like, wow, it's super cool. I'd really want it, but it's nice enough, right?
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the fact that even though they weren't particularly easy to get hold of, they were making some of these characters that people wouldn't necessarily have thought of available. And Medics, I mean, I'm quite a fan of the fact that they even did him out of Crankcase in a couple of years ago. And I think that's actually one of the best uses of that mold.
I just wish it was a better mold. I remember having Crankcase and being a bit like on it, unfortunately.
Crankcase and skids are probably the worst use of that mold. Every redeck I've had of it has been somehow even more fun.
That's weird and sad.
I don't understand.
Yeah, nice that, like you say, Medics got something.
Yeah.
And that was his first figure until the Crankcase one. Why did you do this? Where's Combiner Wars? I love how you click on the link and sometimes it doesn't take you to the right place.
Yeah.
Combiner Wars, there it is. I'm guessing, this would be the Unite Warriors version of First Aid. So this time he is consistent in his color scheme of red and white, unlike the American version. I think you said previously when we were talking about Unite Warriors, very clean. And again, he's very, very clean. This is a very G1-y looking First Aid.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of the rescue iconography that the Hasbro version had. The inner robot the way they've used more white on the arms and then kept red for the joints.
Oh, I like
makes it,
that. That's nice.
yeah, that is quite nice actually.
Yeah.
It also makes it like just that cleanness approach, which works really well for a medic, especially. The alt mode, I think, ends up potentially a little boring.
I would agree. Yeah, I kind of wish that the red stripe went over more of the vehicle mode than just like the back door to the end of the boot.
If the stripe had gone across the front door and just up to where the bonnet starts, that would have. If it had gone all the way along the bonnet to where the light over the wheel arch, that would have been perfect. But
is first aid part of the Illuminati?
Are you asking because he has that weird symbol on his side?
I am asking that because I have no idea what that is. For those that don't know, it is a black circle with a triangle on the inside of it.
I think it's an emergency services symbol from Japan, is my assumption. I'm more intrigued by the fact that Red Alert has the Autobot symbol on his foot in robot mode.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice detail that it's on his foot. It's also nice that the detail around it, that is like indented and then painted inside silver.
Yeah,
and that's really nice.
It is, and it should be pointed out that's actually been resculpted as well from the Ironhide, from the off-road mold, so it's got different detailing. The way they took what and made it into the medic version is actually a really nice retooling overall.
Yeah,
got to be said. Yeah.
So
yeah, I think everything about it.
This one is different from the American one, but I wouldn't say the American one is like inferior. I'd say just like it'd be nice if you could remove its head and give it a different head, and it'd be maybe somebody else, and that could still work well enough.
And honestly, if you look on certain bits of AliExpress or eBay, you can find people who've done so many heads for Combined Wars.
Oh, that makes sense.
Even now, Shapeways has gone under. I mean, you can print them yourself. If you know where to look on Colts and by manufacturing all that,
you can get Gruff to print them for you. He has a brand new printer, so why not?
Yeah.
So that's first aid. XL Head says, "Give us Legacy, Age of the Primes, Blade, and Boulder." Oh, he's talking about rescue bots. I think is what it is. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, we are getting close to having a full lineup of rescue.
Yeah, you just need those two, right? At this point. Yeah. Which maybe in time, maybe they'll get there. Next we have the Night Warriors Lynx Master, which is Ratchet. I don't know why he's called Lynx Master, but he is.
Oh, it's because he came with Skylynx. Lynx Master, I think, was the name for.
That's stupid. Anyway, this is using the first aid body, and then with a brand new head. I guess exclusive to Japan, unless they were using the head that was used for the Botcon figure. I guess.
I'd guess it must be a new. Unless Botcon used this head.
Maybe it could have been that way around.
Because Ratchet, I don't think he was actually very easy to get hold of in the UK. He was a car exclusive because he came in that Skylynx box set.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Which was really. I remember now because it was really weird that they did it that way. But it's an interesting approach because they've tried to make the robot. I mean, they've tried to paint in like Ratchet's classic the front of the alt mode on his chest.
Yeah, the boob window, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's succeeded 100%, but it's nice that they tried.
Yeah, for those not aware, the way they've done it is the top half of the Combined Wars joint is just painted baby blue, and then his side boobs, the window are painted baby blue as well. So like you say, kind of works. You kind of squint and you go, yeah, okay, I see what you're going for. And then to mix it up, it looks like, is it silver paint they've got painted around it just to kind of break up the white?
They've used a bit of silver. They put a really tiny Autobot symbol just underneath his boob.
It's like on one ab muscle for some reason.
And then painted in the abs and crotch, and then the rest of it is pretty much white apart from his hands, which are nice and red. But...
Yeah. I mean, compare this to First Aid. I think I think I like First Aid more, the Japanese
Mm,
First Aid. This isn't bad. It's just like they're very similar. Obviously, they're both white
yeah,
ambulances, and you have to, well, you don't have to,
yeah.
but you can compare them. And in terms of vehicle mode, Ratchet doesn't have the Illuminati symbol on him, but it does have a bigger red line. Not all the way that we were hoping for, but it is a much longer red line going
But
across the
it's
side of
part
him.
of the way we wanted it, and they
Yes.
painted his light bar in a much brighter red,
Which is nice as well. Have they painted in the window separator, or is that painted blue as well on the front of the
I think
car? I mean,
I think they painted it blue
I
to
think they have.
replicate how G1 Ratchet's window, which is it's one of those silly little things that you just think, I understand what you've gone for, but
Yeah, you've tried. You're trying something. You're trying
yeah.
something.
I mean, the only thing about this I could probably have said is where they've done the top of that peg in that baby blue,
Mm,
if they'd painted the bit that's the top of the very top of the torso in silver to match what is going on with the rim of the chest, so
I see.
it's not that there's not that stripe of baby blue right under his head.
Mm,
That probably could have helped tie things a bit better together. But I understand why it was probably a step that was out of their budget to do.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I appreciate what we've done here. I agree with you. I think I far prefer for versions of Red Alert. Sorry, First Aid.
First aid. Yeah, red alert, first aid, Ratchet. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
all white
Although
and red. They're all emergency vehicles.
it gets so confusing. One's
Yeah.
a
Yeah, this
Ferrari.
isn't bad, but it is just like a
Yeah.
okay.
Interesting though, they've given him rather than the axe that comes with all the other versions of this mold, he's got the one of Rook's weapons.
Yeah, the kind of cattle prong kind of weapon,
Yeah.
which I'd argue is way more appropriate for a
Yeah.
doctor in a weird way. It
And
looks more mechanical fixy.
yes, and it fits with Ratchet's general history in the bluff that he doesn't actually carry guns. All his stuff is tools.
I guess as well, if you wanted to, you could say it's maybe a bit of a stretch. It's a little bit of a nod to animated, where Ratchet had the things coming out of his
Yeah.
forearms. It's not perfect, but that kind of shape looks a little bit like
You
that.
know what? I think that might be why they've done it. In fairness,
Maybe
because it's close they could come to in this line to having a tuning fork type weapon for it.
it'd be nice if
But
you
it
had
worked.
two, one for each hand. But
Yeah. Yeah.
again, it's like he has that. He has his foot gun hand thingy.
Yeah.
That's enough, I guess. But
Uh,
you have anything else to say? I thought I cut you off there.
no, just that it does the job. Could have been better. Could have been a lot worse. So let's be honest.
Next up is Trailbreaker. Yes, it's not Trail Cutter. This one is Trailbreaker from Combiner Wars.
Yeah.
So he's got a brand new head, so that's nice.
Yeah. And actually, it's given he's mainly black. It's a surprisingly good deco, I think.
Yeah, because
Especially
they've
for the
actually got the stripes on the side of his car mode.
Yeah.
Maybe could do with a couple of extra layers on them, but it's still nice that they're there.
Yeah.
And they've given him red legs and red arms, and then silver kind of forearms, like you say. Yeah,
Which-
it's like, oh, okay.
Nice and poppy. I think it's cute how they've managed to get him so he can use the
The Combiner Wars
Combiner.
hand. Yeah.
as a giant Hulk hand, which I never get tired of seeing a Combiner Wars figure doing that because it's just hilarious. Nice bit of silver paint on the axe blade. It's a nice black. I mean, it's minimal. I mean, it's Trailbreaker. He doesn't. He suffers from the fact that his head is entirely black.
Yeah.
With just his eyes painted. So there's limits there. But
the
what
new
they've done
mold
here,
is really good as well, I'd say.
yeah,
For
it's
going for
actually,
that.
it's a nice head sculpt, and
Yeah.
it's a deco that's not. They've not done much to. They haven't done any resculpting apart from the head, but it works really well for what they've gone for. So yeah, top marks.
Solid one.
Yeah.
And then obviously Japan wasn't to be outdone, or didn't want to be outdone, so they did Link's Master Trailbreak as well. Or he came in that.
Oh,
Link's
that's right.
Master
One
set.
of the retools they did for this was that he doesn't have a right hand.
That's right, which is how he was
Yeah.
able to have the
Yes.
big hand. Yeah, we couldn't see that on the previous image because the big Hulk hand was in the slot. But now in the Japanese version, we can see that he just doesn't have a right hand at all. It's a gun
Mm.
hand. That's
Yeah.
nice. I
Yeah.
don't
And
like this Japanese version as much, to be honest.
the alt mode is a little lacking, I think, because the stripes are brighter, but they've only got one set of them. It would have been nice if there'd been that other set as well.
Yeah.
The robot is weird because I like how they've done the legs.
Yes, the legs are good.
Yeah. The arms, okay, yeah, I kind of dig that. I don't know what's going on with the chest though.
They're doing what I think what they're trying to do is what they did with Ratchet. I think they're trying to do
Mm.
the big boob window, but they've got the big Combiner Wars port in the middle, and they haven't
And they
colored that blue.
Yeah, which is weird because it's for one situation where if that had been baby blue, that probably would have worked quite nicely.
I think it still would have looked a little bit odd,
Yeah,
but it would
yeah.
have at least tried to tie it together, and you go, oh, I can see
Mm.
what they're doing. I don't think it worked as well. That's the main reason I'm not a big fan of this. The two side boobs that are baby blue don't really
Yeah,
work for me at all.
yeah. It's a bit of a shame that because otherwise, I
It's nice, but I don't think
yeah,
it's as nice.
no, I think I prefer the Hasbro take.
Yeah,
It's so
that's
weird that
rare.
we've said that about a couple of these so far that we prefer the Hasbro version to the Takara one.
Yeah, it is.
And
It's rare, but it can happen. I suppose. I think it's
yeah,
when they're trying to stick too
mm,
adherently to a G1 color scheme.
yeah,
It can sometimes be a detriment, right?
but it's also a matter of taste on our part.
Yes, well,
We're
that's
clearly
true.
preferring. But it's nice that there's at least there's options there for people, because someone's going to love this deco, probably Ratchet and they'll have been all over it, and it's like, cool, good for you.
Well, obviously, the problem with the Japanese ones are I mean, the only way you could get these were as a set. So if you like, well, I don't like one of them. It's like, oh fuck, well, this is like £150 I'm gonna have to spend, and I don't like all of them. Oh,
Yeah,
that was a bad thing.
that is a bit of an ask, isn't it?
To be fair, I don't know who was going to Japan or like to the Japanese import sites and going, yes, Link's Master is the one I want to buy. I don't know who did that. You're
Yeah,
weird if you did. Exilhead says, kind of surprised me they made a swerve out of this mold. Out of this mold? Did they?
Did they do a swerve?
Maybe he means another one that I did.
No, they didn't do a swerve.
He might be talking about a different mold that I just didn't catch. Oh, sorry. Sorry. The next message is they didn't. Kind of surprising. They didn't make a. He's saying it's a stupid YouTube typo.
Okay,
They didn't make. Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I would agree with that. I could see this working as Swerve. I guess if you were doing Swerve, you could probably fudge him into Tailgate as well, if you wanted to, as a similar kind of idea. Yeah, yeah. So that is this mold done. We can now move on to the best Combiner Wars Deluxe figure? Question mark.
I mean, he's in the running, isn't he?
At least mold wise, I'd say so. The only thing that's bad about him is the colors. And it's Rook. It's the random dude who was shoved into the Defensor things. He is a fictional police squad personnel army truck thing.
If you listen to this, you ever watched Die Hard? You remember the bit where the SWAT team try and ram a six-wheeler through Nakatomi Plaza? This is the sci-fi version of that.
Yeah. Combine that with the design aesthetics of Aliens vehicles as well, I think.
Or Thunderbirds.
Oh, yeah. I could see a bit of Thunderbirds in it. Yeah.
But he's fun. The only issue I ever had with Rook is I understand why they didn't give him 5mm ports in the top of his hands.
Yes.
It would have been so nice if he had them, though, because...
Yes, this was a figure that was dedicated purely to gun hands and having all of the things stick into his hands rather than hold his things.
He does have hands sculpted.
Yes, they are there.
They are there. He doesn't just have two guns for hands. No, he actually has hands, but then he has knuckle duster guns in his fingers.
It is weird. Like, if you think about it, like if you close your fist, imagine putting the barrel of a gun on the front of your fist, and that's where it is. It's really weird. Like you say, it's a knuckle duster gun barrel,
Yeah.
that shoots
then he does have
somehow.
he does then make the best use of the combiner accessories of anyone
Yes.
of a Trailbreaker, because you can give him 2 Hulk hands, which is great.
I think the only thing he needed is 2 ports on the bottom of his feet, so he could also use the Combiner Wars hands for feet as well.
I think he might do.
I think he's got 1.
Oh,
I
that's
think
right.
he
He's
has
got
one.
one for combined mode, but
And that's on the front of his foot rather than on the bottom of his feet.
Actually, no, he's got 2, because the way his combined mode works, one works for the foot, one works for the hand. Because if you look at it, you can see you've got the port that's on his toes, right, in the middle.
Yes.
And inside the foot, you can see on one side there's a curved indent.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So because his combined form is weird, because you can get different heights out of him by doing different things, and there's a reason he's probably the best figure from this line.
Yeah, there's a bit of customization to him in a weird way.
He's got ankle tilts because of it, which is great.
Yes, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, his robot mode is super beefy, even if his thighs are a little thin, but otherwise no notes. And his alt mode it's really nice and clean, in fairness.
It's a big
great.
bar of soap with wheels. It's pretty cool.
I mean, the only problem is that he wasn't groove, which for a lot of people is a big deal breaker, especially given what we got as groove initially.
I think at this point as well, people are getting really fucking tired of like not having a full Combiner Wars team.
Yeah.
They're like, for fuck's sake, come on.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason Hasbro then did a special release of Groove and a bunch of the other ones, because
they were a pain in the ass to find, if I remember. Because everybody wanted them for obvious reasons. The only thing I was never a big fan of with Rook was I didn't personally like the weird bar across the front of his face, American football helmet kind of look.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. It's a little too telling as to what the inspiration was.
Yeah,
but...
like I get it, but I think I would have preferred a more do you remember the police from like Batman the Animated Series where they're just like faceless?
The blank visor.
Yeah, I think if we were going to have something that's relative to the police, I'd prefer something a bit more like that.
I could have seen that, yeah.
More so and it would make more sense than football helmet, you know? Like football helmet doesn't feel appropriate.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what does surprise me slightly? But this guy never got reused as like an auto trooper drone or something.
That is odd.
Yeah.
That is odd. Yeah. But no, this figure's really good. He's very big and chunky. I remember playing again with a knockoff version, an oversized knockoff version, and a bigger. Imagine this Voyager size. Really fun.
Oh,
very fun.
And the basic version is actually it's really nice in hand as well. And in fact, most of his mold mates are quite nice to handle.
They're not as good as this for some reason. There's something about Rook which elevates it, and I don't know what it is. But I will agree that the other one's using Rook, or vice versa, I guess, whatever.
He's a strong base to build off of. So.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
So let's go through. We've done that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's 3 less than the last one.
Yeah, and you know what? You can't deny that they did get their money's worth out of all of these.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. I mean, we'll start off with Collectors Club. This was a really good one, to be fair. Impactor from the Collectors Club.
Yeah, I think was this the first Impactor toy we'd ever had up to this point?
Looking, this is the wiki page is not the most helpful. I think it probably is the first one they've got listed.
This may have been around the same time that MMC did their version of Impactor, but
that'd be interesting if that came out around the same time.
Spartan, which is still holds up terribly well, to be honest. But this, I mean, it's for Collectors Club. It's putting out the figures that honestly, Hasbro, we didn't think they were ever going to do in mainline. Let's be honest.
Wait, no, this wasn't the first Impactor. Technically,
Oh,
think about it. What's the worst Impactor toy we've had? Can you remember?
I'm trying to now.
It was. I'll give you another hint. It was also a combiner.
Oh,
That's right. Fall of Cybertron sort of had an Impactor as well. At least Impactor inspired.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, the reason you forgot was because he was completely fucking shit and the wrong color scheme. At least if you wanted to argue that this was the first real Impactor, I wouldn't fight you on it. But technically, there was one Impactor before this, sort of.
Yeah, but this is one that actually looks like Impactor.
Yes.
And they've done stuff to try and make it look even more. So they've given him RC's weapons up pack.
That's weird.
Which is a lot.
It's bizarre.
It's not just. I mean, it's purely so they can have the shoulder cannon and one of the swords to be his harpoon. That's it. That's the only reason they've done that.
Yeah. But they gave he's got the whole sprue, so he's got the shoulder cannon, like is it rifle? Yeah.
Yeah, RC's rifle, but that's been really nicely painted to look like his shoulder cannon, even if it's not a one-to-one match for how the original version looked. They've tried, and that's something that
I'd almost recommend snipping off the handle, because it does have a giant square handle on it, and obviously he can't hold it. He doesn't have fucking ports in his hand, as we've talked about.
Yeah, and they've had to put it into his shoulder because he's got no in the side of his shoulder of him.
No,
top of his head because he hasn't got any joint ports for that. But they've tried, bless them, and I admire the effort.
Yeah, and it's got like some weight, like because the rook mold's quite chunky. Got some girth to him, quite a lot of girth, so he does feel impactory.
And there's a lot of deco going on here as well.
Oh,
They've really tried to make him look like the IDW version of Impactor as well.
The
deco, so you got the particular look of his head, which I don't think it's a new head, is it?
Yes.
Oh, it is a new head.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because it's Rook. I was thinking Ironhide for a second. But I thought it might be Ironhide's head. But no, it's again, it's the sort of figure that if the subscription service was kind of intended to do, and favorite, even if it was going to be a bit hard to get hold of. Honestly, before 2020, no one thought Hasbro were ever going to touch Impactor.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, this was 2016 apparently came out, so who knew when? I mean, we got one like 3 years later that got reiterated multiple times before it kind of stopped being reiterated in 2022.
Yeah, but no, if you had told me in 2016 we were going to a mainline deluxe of Impactor and have him available in multiple decos to represent different versions of the character from different media, I would have called you a liar.
Imagine the same person in 2015 told you that this figure was coming, also told you there would be a Scrounge figure as well.
I know, right?
And a Straxus, like a proper comic-looking Straxus in the future. You'd be like, you're a liar.
Or Exron and freaking Torch.
Yes. Yeah. Emerald Zaron. It's weird.
Man, it's a crazy world we're in, isn't it?
It's odd. So there's also the Dawn of the Predicus, which was a Botcon set, if I remember right.
Yeah. This was the Tripredicus Council.
Oh, that's right. That's why I don't remember it, because I only remember the Tripredicus Council. The set also contained Tarantulas, who was using the Rook mold for some reason. So he's a very thick boy Tarantulas. They've painted the windows at the front of the car mode to look like spider eyes, which is not too bad. He has quite a big fat head compared to what you'd think of Tarantulas, but it looks okay.
I think they were trying specifically to mimic his Transmetal 2 look.
Yes.
Which is generally, when you look at his two forms in Beast Wars, his initial one is a springy little asshole. But then he gets his upgrade and dude's got beef. And this, it's not one-to-one, but it's close enough for jazz. And again, I respect the effort they've made to try and do it.
I imagine the head might be quite big and thick as well to try and emulate the non-beast looking head kind of aesthetics to try and make it more like similar to how they kind of had this weird look in the when they're flying the ships over Earth and shooting each other down. Maybe they're trying to do that kind of slightly more simplistic look.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is a guess, but it looks nice. It's a good mold, so it's like okay, sure, that works in a weird way.
The green is really nice and vibrant. That claret color they've used is again really nicely done. The orangey yellow, I don't think that's an issue with the application. I just think it's a really take Avalon's Sunset and just tone it a bit more towards Tau, Sept, Ochre.
Yeah,
and you're kind of getting there, and it works. It doesn't look patchy. It looks nice and good coverage, and yeah.
It does look a little bit like he has big duck feet in a weird way.
It does.
But that's fine. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
A neat thing I guess you could do if you wanted in vehicle mode is you could detach the feet from the top of the vehicle and make it open up like a mouth a little bit.
That's a very tarantulas thing to have to do with it as well.
Yeah,
to be honest.
that wouldn't look like a super spidery kind of mouth, but kind of.
Yeah.
Sort of, I guess.
He would find a way to make it work for him because he's a sicko like that.
Yeah. Another, no, this is another rare figure, or not rare figure, but this is the Unite version, which is part of the Grand Galvatron set. This is Rook, which is like, what? From IDW? It's like, yes. Rook from IDW. It's like, okay. It's weird.
Well, it's Roller.
Yeah, it's Roller. It's Roller.
Yeah.
Yes, Rook is Roller from IDW. Yeah. It's like, okay, sure. That's bizarre.
I mean, in fairness, they have done a decent job replicating Roller's robot mode appearance, or his coloration at least, from his. What was it? He had 2 appearances in flashbacks, and then he was in the back half of Lost Light.
Well, I can't remember that much detail. You're probably right, though. That sounds about right. In terms of the color scheme, it's very interesting. It is just Rook, though. There's no new molding or anything like that. So he has the football mask, but he's primarily a dark, very dark, metallic-y looking gray, a very shiny silver, and then orange. A very nice orange as well.
Yeah, with a little bit of metallic blue detailing here and there, which, honestly, I think it all works quite nicely.
Yeah, it's a good looking one. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite uses of the mold. I don't think.
I must say it's one for it's one of those redecos that it would have been nice if it had been more widely available, just because Roller had. I mean, yeah, you can now buy. There's been at least 2 of Prime toys that come with a Roller included. But he was left behind for so long, and
true.
Afterthought. I mean, at one point I think there was a third-party battle roller. Had a couple of decos that was designed to work with either the classics or the original Masterpiece Prime.
Yes, I remember that. It sounds familiar.
Gave him a bit of a Bayverse / classics makeover.
Yeah.
But this was the only other take we had around this time, and it kind of works. I'd actually have loved to been able to pick this one up, but
it was my least favorite from this set of the Grand Galvatron set. It wasn't bad. At least it was interesting to look at, but out of all of them, I was like, maybe not this one for me.
I can understand that. It's a set that's got some interesting decos in, and this, like you say, it's the least interesting. Had the least done to it, but.
Them all got redone though, tweaked and fiddled, but mostly still the same as usual. Into Swindle. And in terms of like a buggy, the buggy is certainly trying to buggy. Let's just say that the space where people would sit is occupied by giant fists.
Yes, it's a valid. I mean, it's got the right shape.
Yep.
If you squint, it's great. And then if you look more closely, you're like, hang on a second.
I think if they could have figured out how to get rid of the arms, it would have looked a lot better. But because they're just there, filling up the space, it makes it a little harder.
They might be able to get the arms not behind, but kind of, because the alt mode has that, it angles up slightly at the rear.
Hmm.
They might have been able to do something to get him there, but it probably would have involved
Maybe.
more work than was really
Yeah.
in the budget, unfortunately. But you know what? They made Swindle into a dune buggy, which is about as close to as original art mode as we had for a fair old whack.
You know, it's weird because this mold was used for Hound.
Yeah.
And did they change anything for the? No. It's weird that they
No,
didn't just make it into a Jeep because they were going to use it for Hound anyway.
yeah, it's an odd one, that.
And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of remolding here to change things up. Um, one thing that always irked me, and it's in the picture still, the pegs that attach the wheels on the front are black and on the back are
Yeah,
orange.
that is a bit of a.
Like if I was autistic, that would be setting off my meter, like my autistic meter, like crazy because that's really irritating to notice that.
Yeah, and it's real. The feet for the front of the alt mode are painted,
Yes.
not cast in yellow, because
Yes. Very
it stands
obviously
out so
painted.
much against everything else.
Yeah, it's once again a yellowy-ish color that kind of drops the ball when it comes to trying to like matching paint.
Yeah, but then they painted his torso purple with black and turquoise, and
Yeah. Obviously, why wouldn't they do that? It's like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But the robot mode's good. The head mode's really good. I don't quite agree with the gun being a minigun, although I do like the minigun kind of machine gun he has. It's just very small, I suppose.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that they tried to mimic his classic cannon by putting the foot thing on one shoulder.
Yeah.
And in fairness, I bought the render form upgrade kit for Combaticons, which he did all the G1 weapons for them. So that means that Swindle now has a nice big chunky arm cannon, which it does a lot to improve the aesthetic.
Yeah,
it really
bet.
does.
Yeah. But an okay. Well, let's say not good, but an okay Swindle, because I don't mind the robot mode. I think the vehicle mode is a downgrade from Rooks, though.
Yeah, it is a better robot than it is a vehicle, unfortunately.
Yeah, and again, compare. How do you think the robot is compared to Rook? Because I think they're comparable. I don't think. Oh, I'll mention as well. They have remolded the hands, so he doesn't have gun hands. He has just holdy things hands.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Big D.
I mean, I think they're probably very comparable robot-wise.
Yeah.
I think Swindle, oddly enough, he has a slight habit of having figures that are quite chunky in robot mode, which doesn't really fit the character. He's supposed to be a little asshole. So it's not necessarily the right look, but it still works for it. And one thing I will say, as much as the forearm sticking into the cab of the Doom buggy is an issue, there is a lot of detailing they've put into the molding of that Doom buggy chassis. You can see very little fuel tanks and equipment carriers along the side, and that is actually all over the thing. It's just those forearms, they just get in the way.
And obviously there are meant to be seats in there, but there's no room for them to sculpt the seats, obviously, because you can't smush the legs down because they have to collapse into themselves.
It's a weird one where if they just put in solid windows instead, because they've tried to make it more of a dune buggy rather than a Humvee, kind of the illusion's just broken.
Yeah, a Humvee making it more like animated Swindle might have helped. I think that's a good call, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they were going for, but it's just like,
yeah. So there is another Swindle, of course, and that is the G2 Swindle. That's the one I have. So he is orange and purple splodged because it's a camo, because splodging and that it just makes sense. I like this color scheme. I think this color scheme is very 90s. It looks like a water pistol I used to own as well, so I'm for it.
I'm sure I had a member of the old G.I. Joe Eco Force line that had this exact camouflage.
I'd almost guarantee that would be the case. Was the Eco Force the ones that came with like Play-Doh armor, right? So you had like a mold and you put Play-Doh in and you smushed it.
Armor, and also they had water reactive elements on the actual figure.
That's right. So that was some of them, right? Some of them had the Play-Doh, and then the other ones had the reactive.
Actually, I think they all had reactive and all,
Did they?
but not all of them had Play-Doh.
Oh, okay, okay. I only remember the
Yeah.
Play-Doh, but I'll
Oh no, sorry, I tell like all of them had the reactive. The Play-Doh armor was another line.
Oh,
It
was
came a
it?
little, yeah, it came around the same time.
Ah, okay, okay.
The late 90s, well, the early 90s G.I. Joe line was a trip, man.
Hell yeah. They had to compete with Captain Planet somehow or something.
I mean,
Who
I
knows?
still remember my dad took me to one of the US air bases nearby. He had some dollars. We were going to try and buy some G.I. Joe figures from the VX.
Hmm.
He wouldn't let us buy because because we weren't American. We'd
Boo!
gone onto a base. We'd gone into the shop. We'd gotten to the counter, and it was only at that point someone said, "Can't buy me. You're not American."
You should have just said, "We are your allies," General Martok style.
Yeah. Hey,
but yeah, I like the Swindle.
no,
Obviously, it's
G2.
G2.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The G2 decos for the Combaticons are quite a lot of fun, aren't they?
There's my favorite of the like G2 stuff because they're just obnoxious, very very
Yes.
90s. So this figure got retooled, basically meaning he got a new head, so he got done into Hound, which that's what usually happens if you get a Swindle. He's gonna probably get done into a Hound.
That seems to be play.
Yep, he's very green. I will say his feet are a little bit better matched, not perfectly matched to his molded plastic, not perfect though. And I do like the head mold. Otherwise, it's just like, yeah, it's Swindle
Yeah.
but green. You know?
Yeah, and in fairness, that darker plastic does at least it doesn't work 100%, but it does a better job of disguising the flaws of the alt mode.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, obviously, it
Yeah.
doesn't help with the giant green hands, but nothing's
but
gonna fix that.
yeah, and it's here they've painted in Hound's classic G1 robot mode abs with the gorilla for Jeep, even though that's not this particular alt mode. That's fun.
If you hadn't noticed as well, there is a face on his chest, on Hound's chest, with the grey bits being eyes and the Combiner Wars port being kind of like a nose going down to a mouth.
Andy, why are you like this all the time?
I see faces that must be removed.
I mean, now I kind of see that he has a face in his crotch.
He does. It's a bit of a weirdly proportioned face, but it does work as a face as well.
Yeah.
Faces everywhere. They talk to me.
Yeah. It is a very good head sculpt for Hound, though. It's spot on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is, because it's Hound, I can't help but just kind of go, because he's just green.
Sound, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Hound. He's green. It's like, oh, well, that's true.
Yeah. Is there a Jeep / Doom buggy / Hummer in your lineup? Is there? Excellent. Have we got a character you can redeco, Matt?
What's his name? Hound. Oh, okay. That'll do. Now, oddly enough, I don't really like the Unite Warriors version of Swindle. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's got a lot more going on, doesn't it? And not necessarily to its advantage.
I think a lot of it is to do with, I guess it's probably arguable that this is the more accurate orangey, beigey, sandy color, but I don't think it works as nicely as the Hasbro version. The fact that there's purple on the front of the Doom Buggy mode, again, for obvious reasons, I think looks a bit weird as well. The hands being painted silver makes them even more visible in the Doom Buggy mode.
I actually like the silver hands, not in the alt mode, but what I do like in the alt mode is that they've painted the you can see on the roll cage. So the roof of the roll cage and the sun visor has been painted that same sandy beige color.
Yes, yeah.
That it's a little thing, but it does help a little bit. It's still not hiding the fact he's got two giant silver hands in where the seat should be, but
yeah. I mean, do you like this? Because it's even in robot mode, it just doesn't do it for me.
I'm not sure I do. I mean, I do like that you can actually make out more of the detail of the head sculpt because they painted more of it. They're not just left it as dark as most Swindles do tend to.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that they have picked out more stuff on the robot mode. I mean, they tried to make the torso look more like the front of the Jeep, which actually works. But
see, I would say it's a detriment because it's clearly not the front of the Jeep. It's not that classic flat kind of
Yeah.
chest, stomach area that Swindle has, but it's the color placements that's trying to replicate it. But again, it's got two giant wheels on the side of it. For me, it's
Yeah.
just again, this is why I mentioned earlier, like it's the adherence to try and make it look as G1 as
Mhm.
possible, and I don't think it
Yeah.
works specifically well here with this mold, at least for
No,
my own eyes.
I don't think it does. I think I respect what they've tried to do,
Sure, yeah.
but the execution of it was technically actually really good
Mm.
in service of a figure that doesn't have the bones to bear it particularly well.
A great example is like if you just go back to the Swindle page and you scroll down one figure to the Age of the Prime one, and you go, "Oh yeah, that's a much better looking Swindle."
Yeah. And it's a shame
Obvi-
because, I mean,
years
with the
apart,
robot,
but you know. Oh my god,
the
10
robot is,
years. It's been 10 years since the last Swindle, Big D.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
Oh my god. Ugh.
yeah.
Ugh.
That time is the fire which we all burn, Andy.
Ugh, I know. It's warm in hell. Ready
This is
to warm.
just UK in May 2026.
True. You have anything else to say about Swindle?
No, I think it's a valiant effort. It works much better in robot. It's actually a really good limb because it still has a lot of all the engineering from carried over.
Yeah.
But it's one where it feels like they just didn't have enough budget to go as far as they needed to make it work.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think that you can see what they were intending. It just needed a little bit more engineering around the shoulders, I think, to get the arms hidden away.
Mm.
And that could have helped a lot for the alt mode.
The next one is Hound from Link's Master. I think this one is better than the Hasbro version because they've tried to add more to it. So he's got more of the yellow detailing that Hound should have. So it's made him
nice.
pop. They've also done the top of the Combiner Wars port, or the bottom, the ratcheted part, the bit that has the head attached, that bit. They've done that bit in gray plastic and instead of all green. So again, I don't know if that's accurate. It's probably not, but it helps break up just the solid green chest.
It does. I mean, I think that potentially should have been the other way around. So green.
I would agree.
Great.
Yeah. Actually, that's a great point. It should be the other. Why wasn't it?
You can even see where they painted the abs in grey.
Yeah.
And then it's all green. That's really weird.
That's a good point. Yeah, because like the top of his chest is meant to be the front of his car mode, which is all green. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure in the cartoon, like his like abdomen area is all grey. I'm pretty sure.
That's such an odd thing for them to have.
Unless this is a mess up with the photo, and that's not the case, and the real one isn't like that. I'll hold my hands up. We're just going off the TF Wiki image that we see. So
yeah,
you know,
interesting.
Either way, I like the yellow detail on his forearms, on the waist joint. I like the little yellow star on his shoulder as well. Yeah. All those are nice extra details.
Yeah, and they got some nice. They put some nice extra bit of little decals on the alt mode.
Mm-hmm.
A few of those little symbols that were all over the G.I. Joe line of that era, if you remember. Painstakingly in all the little sods.
Yes. Well, I remember seeing images of them more so than anything else, but yeah. Otherwise, it's Hound.
It's Hound. It's another Hound, but it works. And again, I think because it's a darker palette, it just ties it together better than Swindle does. High quality errors.
Next up is the Baldigus gift set version. What's this one called from Baldigus? Oh, Greegiber. I don't know what his American name is, but Greegiber. The green version of Swindle from Baldigus from God, what was he called in America?
Robots in Disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Baldigus called in that?
Okay,
I can't remember offhand.
I can't remember actually. Was it not just called Baldigus?
No, he had a silly name. I'm sure he had a silly name.
That doesn't do a lot to narrow it down, Andy.
I know, because I can't remember. Ruination. He was called Ruination. I got there before chat had to come in. He was called Ruination. There we go. Okay, either way, Greedjibur. Green Swindle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the
Like
color's in the right place. I think this looks better than the Night Warriors G1 version of Swindle. I like it more than that.
I think this works quite nicely, actually. But like with Hound, the darker color use of the alt mode works to hide a lot more of the sins.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting new gun they give him as well.
I don't remember them coming with new guns, but clearly they did. I don't remember it.
It's not. It could probably done at least one more coat, but where they've tried to replicate the original toy, because it had that orange chest plate painted in, I appreciate they've made the effort there, even if it could probably done with a couple of extra coats just to get the vibrancy up.
Because was it meant to be orange or was it meant to be yellowy? I don't remember.
Because
I think the American toy was like a really bright reddy, maybe it was red, maybe reddish kind of orange. Was it in the show? Was it yellowy?
I can't remember. I do remember the post is certainly accurate because he did have that was a because it was for Scramble City one. It was right there, not hidden away.
Oh, actually, looking at the toy image, sorry, the animation image, it's not quite right. It should be more of a just hard orange.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's very accurate at all, really. That's odd. Oh, well, never mind. They also, obviously, this is the Unite Warriors version, which got a heavy retool into Nose Cone for Computron. Another reason why this was a superior version of Computron than the American version. So he got I mean, it's the same transformation scheme, but it's heavily redone. But you can still tell it's still like Rook at the heart of things. But yeah, not only did he get heavily retooled, but he was given like load of extra guns as well.
Yeah, I mean it was a bit of a trademark of the Computron set that all the team were packing some serious firepower.
Wasn't the Computron the last one they did? Or near the end of the Unite Warriors stuff, right?
It was getting there.
I want to say it was the most heavily retooled.
Oh yeah, I mean, Scattershot was new, or wasn't based on the previous Scattershot anyway. They did a whole new Scattershot retool of Silverbolt.
Yeah, he was a super heavy retool of Silverbolt.
Yeah, way more than the Scattershot we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was just. In fact, actually, no, the only one who wasn't a. Actually, yeah, everyone.
Yeah, we talked about I think one of the few that wasn't heavily retooled, and that was it Lightspeed, the car, because it was just the Jazz mold. No, it wasn't. No, not Jazz, a Wheeljack.
Yeah,
just
pretty
a Wheeljack mold with a new head. And it's like, oh well, that didn't need anything doing to it.
And even the Hasbro version of him wasn't a massive. It just to change deco and different weapons compared to the Takara version.
Yeah, and to use like Rook as nose cone was clearly a great idea. How do you feel about them using the gun hands instead of the hands?
I'm kind of okay with it because it kind of works with his general layout. And it means that there's a good way to put the auto blasters in the alt mode.
Yes.
And plug them into the fists. And honestly, it is such a unique feature that it's nice to have it carried over to at least one more character.
It is obviously just a shame he does come with a gun that he can't hold normally. He can still hold it because it's got an extra peg on the back of it. But yeah, that I wouldn't say it's a negative, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, it would have been nice if he could have like held it. But yeah, it's fine. Like you say, the extra kind of small blasters that go into his fists for vehicle mode. I think that's a better way to facilitate that idea than any other kind of way. So it's like, oh no, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
And it's fun if needs be. You can always plug the drill into one of his fists.
Yes, that's really fun. That's really cool. Yeah. It's a really good reuse of the mold. So that's the Rooks done. Next up, we have Streetwise, which I thought there were more uses for Streetwise, to be honest. But yes, Streetwise is up next. This mold got reused many, many times. Many times, I feel like. Um, I think this was probably the mold that to me felt the most
Was he
worn.
not just the reuse of Dead End though? 'Cause we did
Yes,
it.
but we didn't do Dead End.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, Dead End was the first version, but we skipped him, so we're starting with Streetwise, and then we'll talk about Dead End as well.
Okay.
Yeah, like I say, I feel that this mold for me, as I bought more and more of them, this was the mold that I felt that got rammed through the most in terms of like mold degradation.
Yeah, that's really fair because they did get. I'm just looking at how many uses he had and
Not
baby
as many as
Jesus.
I thought. I felt there were more, but for some reason, this was the one that felt to me like it
I
started
think
dying
it's just
quicker.
so many of versions of the character got reused multiple times. If that so, you had Prowl who got re-released multiple times. You had Smokescreen and Bluestreak who were basically Prowl.
Yes.
Streetwise had, I think, 3 separate releases, and yeah, it. And the thing is, there's nothing actually really bad about it. It's actually a really of the car combiners. It's probably the most solid, I think.
Yeah, I like this one quite a lot. I mean, it was so good that
Yeah.
they used it for at least the transformation scheme wise to do uh was it Dead End again in the future? It was
Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
the future ones. It wasn't nearly as good as these versions, funnily enough, in a lot of ways, but they did reuse it again much later on.
yeah. For Legacies, it is pretty much all. It's just a slightly tweaked take on it,
Yeah.
which
And doesn't go together as well, which is kind of sad in a way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But there is some. I mean, I've always liked how he has the faux chest bit that flips down.
Yes. Yeah, this was the
That's
thing on the wheeljack mode that we both liked as well. I think that
mm,
really does help like
yeah,
change the look of the character and hide the port, which we said last time. Great
mm,
idea.
yeah. But for some reason, this version of how they did it just has better tolerances than the wheeljack mold
In
because the
terms of
heads.
what do you
Well,
mean?
the
Sorry.
heads in general on this anything based on Streetwise, I think, has a much nicer head sculpt,
Hmm.
and you're not as prone to as much flatness at the back.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could actually have a real head versus the wheeljack one, which had that like
Yeah,
half your
but then
brains being cut off. Yeah.
but at the same time, when you transform it into car mode, you can still the flaps and the hood cover the head completely.
Yes.
So yeah, that nice clean undercarriage, which is actually not common in car transformers. Let's be honest.
Hmm.
And I go, oh, there's a robot.
This is also a Combiner Wars figure that has a much, much thicker normal size waist as well.
Yes.
Like a
Yeah.
really good, like you look at it, and it's like, oh, that's a waist. That's a real boy
Yeah.
waist. The front of the car, or the hood of the car, I suppose, tucks behind the back of the robot a lot better than off road. Like kind of, I know they were going for a style there, but it looked a little bit messy. This hides itself a little bit better.
Yeah. This one can compress down a lot nicer.
Mm-hmm. I think a bit of a detriment, or one of those, man, he's got no feet, like at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I mean,
like no feet at all. He can
mm,
still stand, but he
oh
has
yeah.
no feet.
I mean, this mold can pose like a champ, but like you say, yeah, there's no feet there. There's
Nothing.
just they painted his toesies, bless, but there's nothing there, lad. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the only shame. Otherwise, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
this is a good looking
Yeah.
Streetwise, I think.
Yeah. And he has a triple barreled shotgun. That's ace.
Yeah, that was I'd argue one of the best gun accessories in the Combiner Wars series.
Yeah.
I don't think we've often had Transformers with shotguns, let alone triple barreled shotguns. So I like it a lot. Gun wise.
Yeah.
We'll go back and we'll talk about Dead End now. Dead End has a different faux chest and it has a different head, which is appropriate for him. He comes with an exhaust pipe, which doesn't really work, if I'm honest.
Yeah, this obsession I had with giving all the Stunticons melee weapons that could also be potentially used as guns. But this is probably the worst one, just because.
What do you mean?
Well,
It's the best gun. It's a gun that you'd hold like a gun, and it would shoot directly up, which is hilarious.
Or he's actually the first Transformer to have a pipe.
Yeah,
with a bit of
yeah.
smoke.
I guess the idea was to have all the the stunt like maybe this one was particularly like Streets of Rage inspired with the pipe. I don't know. It doesn't really
What-
work in car mode. It's an exhaust
Yeah.
pipe on the car, but you could tell it's not meant to be there because this is like Dead End's a really nice, smooth, fancy sports car. It's clearly not meant to have this gigantic exhaust on the side of it.
Yeah. I mean, it would clip him better if it didn't have the post extending to hold it in his hand.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, then it looks even stupider in robot mode because he's just holding an exhaust like a gun, but the barrel pointing the wrong way.
If he could hold it like a tonfa, that would be one thing, but he can't.
Yeah.
He
No,
doesn't
'cause
have
there's
the
no force
there's not enough there's too much under forearm to
Yeah.
allow that, unfortunately. But otherwise, like the car mode looks nice. All of the car parts that have been
Oh, yeah,
changed
the car
over
mode's
from because he is very different
concept.
looking wise to streetwise. It's reshelled like
Yeah.
we've seen with the
Oh, yeah,
other
the
ones.
shells are really nicely different.
Yeah, but yeah,
Which
it's in terms of colors as well, not quite right in terms of that. It's like
Yeah,
close
not
enough to
quite.
Dead End, but it's not quite right.
It was one. There's another case where it was good enough because we'd been so starved for it before this.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, sorry. One thing I never was a big fan of, which this mold sometimes happened, not just with Dead End, but with other versions, and it's the bicep swivel. So the top of his shoulder is the maroon color, his forearm
Oh,
is maroon color, but then all the way around it, the bicep like joint where the bicep hinge joint
yeah,
is and the swivel is just all gray. So it didn't mesh in with the top of the car or the bottom of the car. It was just this big gray line that kind of sliced through the car. It's a
yeah.
bit poo.
I mean, in fairness, at least on the car mode, it almost looks like it's an intentional bit of deco. Almost.
I don't think so. Not for me. It never came across that way to me, just because of the shape of it.
Yeah.
And if the line was continued over the top of the roof, I think it would look bad. But I would agree with you.
Yeah.
But it for me that never worked. That always looked weird. And I it would have required more paint for them to kind of fix it, etc., etc. I get it, but it is one of those things where I looked at it and went,
I get that.
yeah. And like I say, it did persist over a couple of different versions of this figure, cause eventually, 1,000 years into the future, they did use this mold in particular to make Wild Rider, the Dead End version.
Yeah.
They did give him a new head. Eventually, Hasbro went, you know what? Maybe we'll give it to them. Was it a shame it was the same as Dead End? Yes, it was a shame, but you could hardly complain because you actually got the correct Stunticon and you could get off-road and throw him in the bin, which I'm sure a load of people did.
I just put them on the shelf with Alpha Bravo.
Yeah. How do you think it turned out, the Wild Rider?
I'd see my Wild Riders on a shelf, so I haven't looked at them in a while. I'd forgotten how red
He's very red.
he was places. Still got the same issue you mentioned about the bicep, which is a shame because it does break up the lovely grey and silver they've used for the alt mode.
It luckily doesn't affect the bottom of the car, only the top part of the car.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least they've got the red along the bottom of the car, so at least there's a little bit of continuity there. So again, it almost gives the impression that it's an intentional bit of detailing they put in. Not perfect, but it's event on Dead End. Decent head sculpt.
Yeah.
Again, just a shame comes the same daft, but yeah, I think as redecos go, give you the full sweep of the team. Yeah, would have been nice if he'd had his own dedicated sculpt. Sure, but
I wonder if they rushed these guys out for like team fillers, because it almost feels like they rushed them out, but it can't have been, right?
I suspect they may have been a little taken aback by. So I think I remember that the likes of Alpha Bravo and Off-Road, they didn't move as well as some of the other team members did because they weren't members that people remembered. And again, because of how Hasbro have been releasing these teams, so you had 3 of one team, 1 of the other one, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
It did kind of wind people up a bit because they just wanted to go out and buy the whole team in one go.
Which is weird because it's like, obviously that would be the reaction, Hasbro. Obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you think otherwise? I don't know.
And you can see they realized that when they started doing all the gift set later on in the line. And with Takara's takes. But I mean, I suspect they always had an intention to do Wild Rider and Slingshot.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Groove, I think, was probably the one outlier that Hasbro, I don't think, had any intention of. So I get the intention, they wanted to keep Groove to keep a scale, although scale is off completely when you think about it with a lot of Transformers. They wanted to try and keep away from having Groove as a limb. So they thought, I think there was a suggestion that it wouldn't look right. They wanted to try and keep it.
I think I remember hearing that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was only after Takara did a completely new Groove off their own backs. Hasbro thought, oh, suppose we better bring so because
Hasbro just went, yoink, we'll have that. Thanks.
Now, can everyone stop knacking us about this?
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, like, Groove would have came out with these guys, right? When they kind of pooped out these ones instead of, like, really deep into the end of the line.
I mean, Groove was what? Didn't he come out in Power of the Primes in the West in the end?
Oh, I'm going to say yes, but I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure.
We'll get there. It was weirdly released, Groove. I think we may have had Rekgar over here before we had Groove.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Breakneck or Wild Rider then got, obviously, because it was part of the G2 gift set, so he's in G2 colors now. Funnily enough, you'll note. Oh no, I was gonna say you'll note that the paint on the forearm is correct, but it's not. I don't think, because if you look at the bottom of the car, it goes red, yellow, silver, and I don't know if that's intentional or if that's a fuck up because of the bicep. But then then for robot mode, the bicep joint has been painted in the metallic-y blue color. It has to be intentional, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way.
If you look at G2 Dead End, it's just a solid red for on that same section of the alt mode. That's really interesting how that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Why are you like this? Why are we doing this? Why?
Yeah.
Either way, I really like this redo of Breakneck. This is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, out of the G2 Stunticons.
Yeah, that shift in color palette, so it's now that metallic-y blue on the limbs and the hands. The face deco, is that a metallic purple they got on there?
At least in these images, it looks like it, whether it is in person or not.
It might just be how it's photographed, but I do quite like how Breakneck looks in his G2 deco.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm a big fan of this version of him. I don't really like his like blue pipe. That looks weird, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, Dead End also got his G2 version, which is, in terms of layout, very similar to Wild Riders. Obviously, he's just red in comparison. I'd say it's a little bit more boring because it's just red and blue, and it's like, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, nothing wrong with that.
No,
it works for him.
Yeah, I think it's okay. Then there is. Oh, there's also Unite Warriors version of Wild Rider. Is that the only other one? Yes, the only other version of Wild Rider is the Unite Warriors version, which is obviously the Wild Rider mold, but in a much more cartoon accurate and placement color scheme. Though they also have not fixed the forearm of the bicep swivel area.
Yeah,
which is a shame.
It is a bit.
Yeah. Otherwise, I do like the color placement. They've kind of hit it, but I don't think Hasbro was too off before anyway.
Dead End's always been Wild Rider's always been a little bit of a odd one, if I remember from my original. So yeah, I mean, I actually quite like this Unite Warriors deco. I think more than the one for the main line. But again, it's an either or situation because I could understand liking one over the other more than the other one quite easily.
Sure.
So
They're
yeah,
very similar. They're that
they
similar
are.
where it's like, yeah, all right, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I don't think that extends as well to Dead End. I think the colors on Dead End are
Mhm.
a little bit nicer. I like the maroon color they chose. I miss the big yellow stripe, even though that's
Yes,
not
that
technically. I mean, that's for the toy rather than the animation version, which is what they've gone for here.
yeah, it's a bit of a shame because if Assault Mode with that really nice color had that stripe on it as well, that ooh,
I would have liked
because
that a
that
bit
is a.
more. Yeah.
mm, But at least they have apparent. Although you can still kind of tell there's a difference in the color of material they've used for the bicep in the from the side of the car.
Yeah.
At least it's closer in color to the rest of it, so it's that's nice.
Yeah, there's nothing egregious where you go, oh, there's just a big blob of a different color on the top of the car door
Yeah.
area. I
It,
like
it,
this one more, at least.
it is a very nice clean deco on for car mode.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
And then we have a redo into Combiner Wars Prowl. So again, it's a complete reshell of all the parts, but he does transform in a very similar way. He comes with a shotgun, and then he also has a Prowl head. This isn't actually too bad for a Prowl, to be honest. I
Yeah.
never got it because I was like, well, I don't really want the mold again, and I don't really want just an Autobot Prowl, but it's pretty good in fairness, looking back at it.
Yeah. I mean, this is another one that it makes great fodder if you just want some Autobot auto troopers.
Oh, you mean if you swap the head around and give him
Yeah.
something a bit more like that? Yeah, I could work with that.
Not even that or that. I mean, hell, you could probably leave ahead and just say it's another Autobot of Prowl's kind of lineage doing the same sort of work. It's just
Sure, yeah.
Prowl, but not quite.
The bicep joint is technically miscolored, but I don't, because it's a continuous black line from the top of it to the bottom of it. It feels like it's part of the car design more so than previously.
Yeah, and a lot of American police cars do have that in the deco, to be fair. So
Yeah.
it feels more natural, even though we are talking about a police car that's also a sporty hypercar.
Like a super, it's like the car from the end of Hot Fuzz, basically, where they go, yeah, I'll have a sports car, thanks.
Yeah.
So this works quite well and nicely. There was also, did I already pull it up later or not? Yes, I did pull it up later. Okay, I was going to talk about the other version of Prowl, but it's up later as well as the link. So there's also the Combiner Wars smoke screen, which is the Prowl mold. I think this is just all Prowl, right? There's not a new head here.
Yeah. But they haven't even gotten rid of the light bar in the old mode.
Oh, no, you're quite right. Oh.
They've just not painted it.
I tell you, it's a shame that the bicep joint is clearly a lighter blue somehow than the rest of the blue on the figure. That's a shame.
And the fact that the white stripe is bisected as well.
And the red. It doesn't work nearly as well as the Prowl. And I don't like the robot mode as well. I don't like the color placement on the robot either.
You know what? I agree. The robot, I agree with. I do like most of the car deco apart from that bicep issue.
I agree.
But
yes.
the robot, I think it's just because it's so aggressively blue in places.
And then awkwardly red. Like, I don't feel the red placement. It feels like a kid's just got a paintbrush and gone, that's red, that red, that red, and that red, and the rest blue. And that's it.
It sounds weird to say that, like, I feel like the head is just, it's overpowered. It doesn't stand out.
No.
The whole thing just feels a bit. It's so odd because Smokescreen normally tends to have fairly decent decos for robot mode, but
do you think if you change the color of the joint where the head's sitting to that maroony red color, it would help? Because I think if we pulled some red and put it into the legs for like detailing, that would definitely help at the very least for the legs.
I think it probably couldn't have hurt.
Yeah, because I'm thinking back to like G1 looking like Smokescreen, and the top of his scar, as we can see, is red, and his head would sit on the top of that. So that would help like separate the blue head from like this big blue plate that it's sitting on.
Right, I think that's what it is. But the way they've tried to paint the red of the chest on the faux chest plate, because there's none for white that should be there on Blue Street if you're doing that.
Yeah.
to between the blue and the red. There's not enough red because it should be further across. They've kept it quite narrow. Yeah, I it's so weird, this one, but
again, it's just misplacement of colors can really make a toy not look super good. But like you say, the car modes, that's apart from the bicep bit, that's good. It's like, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. No issues with that. I do have an issue with the Computron figure we got next, which is Lightspeed, especially when we compared it to the previous version of Lightspeed, the that we talked about last time, which was the Japanese version.
Yeah.
This is really crap. This is just Streetwise. It's the Streetwise mold, it's the Streetwise head, and he's just red and grey.
They've done nothing to this, have they?
Nothing. They've barely painted it as well, it feels like, because there's no paint on the windscreens of the car mode.
No, they've picked out the headlights, fog lamps. They painted the rims of wheels, which not a guarantee. They've made the light bar stand out, but I hadn't realised how poor this alt mode was for Lightspeed.
If I was to show you at least the car mode, I think people would assume if you took off the Autobot insignia, that was a prototype, unpainted version.
Mate, I almost think it's a prototype now, to be honest. I can't believe it's got released. I mean,
yeah,
they haven't even painted the windows.
No, that's the big sign that it's like it doesn't feel finished.
I mean, I think I understand the intent. They were trying to mimic the fact that Lightspeed's supposed to have a bubble canopy, but you can still see everything.
Yeah, and again, just like go back to the main page and scroll down just a little bit, and you see the Unite Warriors version. It's like night and day how different they are.
I mean, that's had effort put into it,
Yeah, and not even like a huge amount of remolding or anything like we talked about last time. It was literally just one new head and that's it.
Yeah, new head, but a deco that is
it's Lightspeed.
Yeah, you can, and it's applied thoughtfully everywhere. Whereas this, I mean, the killer thing is that in a lot of ways they do share a lot of similar ideas, in that they've gone for a very simple color layout, but they've just gone for this really boring. It's not even normal Hasbro grey. It's a slightly off sheen of it. It's almost got like a.
And I don't know where it came from because Lightspeed's not grey. Like, if you wanted if he's just like red. Even the original G1 toy, he's just red.
Yeah, he's always been aggressively red.
Yeah, yeah.
With bits, and this is just.
It's bizarre. It's such a weird choice.
I'm actually really glad I never bought this particular set, to be honest, because I'd have been annoyed if that had been what I pulled out for Lightspeed.
Yeah.
Even the opportunity to get Scrounge would have made me angry.
Mr. White says, it looks like a stolen factory prototype. Was this sold in its car mode? Can't have helped sell the figure. This was sold in a box, so you didn't get to see it apart from on card work on the back of it.
No, but when you opened the box, they would all be in their alt modes.
Yes.
So the disappointment has been quite evident.
For a child, as soon as they open the box, they're just like, oh.
I'll say this: the head, at least, is quite nicely painted.
It's okay, yeah. It's still definitely like Streetwise, but if we're doing like how close is it to being Lightspeed, it's fine. I don't mind it.
It's and it's not like it's a bad figure. It's just a really bad paint job.
Very bad.
Deco.
I might be because we haven't looked through the rest of the Funko bombs, but I'm pretty confident in saying this is the worst of this mold in terms of the way it's been designed color wise. I don't know about tolerances and all that, but I'm happy to say that. You agree?
I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna have to go some to find one that's got a worse deco than this of this particular mold.
Before this, it would have been Smokescreen.
Oh yeah.
So this has taken the number one spot. Yippee.
Mm.
Next up, we have the Combiner Wars Unit 3. What the fuck is this?
Oh, this was supposed to be
Oh,
trying
was
to
it?
partner pre
Unit 3 was released as a at-show souvenir figure for BotCon 2016, limited to 1,200 pieces. That's why I have no idea what this is, and I hadn't seen it till now.
because Tigatron was supposed to be Unit 2, I think. And they were
Right.
partners trying to track down Megatron and his crew after they stole the golden disc.
Ah, okay.
I think this one gets taken out, and then Tigatron joins up with Air Razor to chase down the Axelon.
Well, it looks like they've given it a brand new face. I wish the detail on the face was
Yeah.
picked out a little bit more, because it's, at least from this
Hmm.
one image, it's just black, and you can see he's got red eyes, and then this kind of grimace, which I appreciate because it's an expression. But the overall like design, color placement wise, is not too bad.
Actually, I'm not sure if it's a new head or not, to be honest. But
You
it's
said you
a
think
nice
it is.
deco.
You think it's Streetwise
Well,
head?
they don't mention any retooling,
Yeah.
so it suggests it might be a straight redeco. Which, if that's the case, that's a impressive paint job in that case for a head to get such a change in.
I wish we had a close up of it.
I do like it though. The deco overall really is quite nice. It does evoke a lot, as not just from Maximal Symbol, but a lot of it does evoke likes of Optimal Minor.
Oh yeah. I definitely get that from the grimacing face. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a good solid look. It's not like top tier, like crazy good or anything like that. And obviously the bicep joint messes up the stripes on the side of the car. It's like, well, this is way better than what we just looked at. So I'll happily take that at the very least.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that one's not bad.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Combiner Wars Blue Streak. So this is, I guess, an American one. Yeah.
Subscription service. Yeah.
Oh, that's why the color scheme's better than smoke screens. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they could put all the paint into it.
Yes, yeah. So, how do we feel about this one for Blue Streak?
I kind of dig this. I mean, it's still got a few of the same issues that Smokescreen had, I think. But because they had that bigger budget to play with, they've either mitigated them or they've tried to make issues work as strengths, if that makes sense. So, all right, take the alt mode. Yes, we have the bicep issue, but because it's a nice solid stripe.
Yes,
going
yeah,
down,
it looks
nothing
like
cut
it's
through
meant
it.
to be there.
Yes, and you got the turbo bit next to it. That feels nice. They painted the bloody fuel filler cap.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I like that.
That's such a daft little detail. I dig that.
I know how to make this figure instantly worse. Change
gonna
the
tell me
color
that-
of the head plate to blue.
Oh, and just the head just disappears into it
Again, yes, 100%. It's what we've seen. I think they changing that to white has definitely helped. There's also a face on this
that's helped a
torso.
lot. Yeah, there are several faces in this torso.
There
Thank
are.
you, Anthony.
No, this is clearly a better version. I like the extra like purple and yellow bits on his legs, and the sticker. Well, they're not stickers, but the kind of lights effect on his feet. That's quite nice.
And that little bit of teal on his gut. That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
And they have put a fair bit of paint into the chest detailing.
Yeah. Like unnecessary bits of like molded detail they've actually picked out. And you go, oh, look at that. That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I dig that. As a subscription figure, again, this is kind of what you expect. It's a nice deco. It gives you a reason to dip into this figure again. And again, to get a character that doesn't get a lot of... Blue Streak's almost always the Datsun that comes after Prowl and Smokescreen, you know?
Yeah, because usually it's Silver Streak.
As well, yeah.
Because he's the one you think of. I think of those three, and then I go, who's Blue Streak? I'm like, oh, it's the other blue one.
Because it's weird because Blue Streak's the one who should be entirely silver, and Silver Streak's the one that should have this deco, which is silver with a blue.
It's stupid.
It's stupid, but that's how it's been now for
Yeah.
Far too long.
40, 50 years, I guess.
And it won't ever stop being funny to me.
No. Mr. White says that they should have called it Welmer for its whelming qualities. That was for the previous yellow one. And he also says Blue Streak is a rather handsome figure. Yeah, he's pretty solid. Yeah. Not to the point where I would care too much about it, because I don't think this is a subscription pusher. At least from my own personal standings, I'm sure there are like G1 collectors who would be more interested. But
I think Blue Streak might have been the end of year figure for that line that you got if you did all
you
the
did the
rest
whole
of it.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can't be certain of that one, but I think that might have been how they did it.
Yeah, this wouldn't be one of those the figures that I'd be like, oh yeah, I really really need it and want it. But it's well done. I don't think it's bad at all. I think, like Mr. White says, it is handsome at the very least. We've talked about Streetwise, but what about Unite Warriors Streetwise? Well, they've changed the color scheme slightly. So instead of the American version where he's white, they've changed him to be a very off-white. So he's more slightly gray. Dawnstone, a little lighter than Dawnstone gray. Maybe Adeptus Mechanicus gray.
I would almost say there's a little bit of a gloss finish to how the plastic they've used for white, which I'm down with. I dig that.
Looks like that might be the case, yeah.
I quite like how they had some extra little details of a yellow star on one end of the door, police logo, police typing.
I almost feel like that needs like an outline, because at least in these photos, the yellow star almost kind of gets lost, but that might just be like the angle. Bit. Like if it had a black outline around it just to make it pop a bit more, that might help. Or a white logo.
But I think, if I remember, I think that's true to how Streetwise was on the original toy. But
more than likely, yeah.
The star was there, but it was never really. It was its own decal, but it didn't have anything to make it stand out like that. But I dig this. Again, it's a deco that it's clearly Streetwise. It looks great.
This is an update 1.5 rather than 2.0. 2.0 would be like, oh, this is way better. A 1.5 is like, yeah, it's a little nicer. And I feel like, yeah, it's a little nicer than the American one, but not massively.
Yeah, I think so. Say so far with all Protector Bots, it's been a case of, if you missed the Hasbro release and you really want Protector Bots, you're not going to be disappointed if you get the whole lot in one hit.
I want to say the only one where it was like a clear, from the ones we've looked at so far, where it was a clear upgrade, where it was just like, oh, that's better. I think we said Blades was clearly better, right?
Yes, Blades I think was for definite upgrade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. The set was like, the reason you got this set, if you're American, was you got it for Groove, and then everything else was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Groove was the pusher for this box. I forgot about that. Next up, we have the Unite Warriors version of Prowl. He's got a bit more blue on him. Apart from that, he's still very much the same figure, I feel.
Yeah, a little. I'm digging for a little bit of extra decal work they put onto the side door.
It's a little smushed, though, isn't it? Because they've tried to take into the bicep thing. And they've actually done a worse job because they've taken away that black line. So kind of just a big white blob stripe down there. So it's a little worse in that aspect.
That's a bit of a shame, because if that just remained black, that probably would work better. But
not huge. It's still like, if you look at it, you're like, again, this doesn't really feel like a downgrade or an upgrade. It just feels like a sidestep. Like it's okay.
Absolutely. It's another one. You know what? If you didn't get if you passed on the Hasbro release and you weren't sure and you decided, oh, you know what? I might have wanted him as well. Well, here's a set that has him and a bunch of the others. So if you fancy a few of them, you've got a nice one.
Yeah, I agree. So Combiner Wars wise, we have Victorion's Flow Spade. No, Dust Up. Flow Spade's the next figure we talk about. Flow Spade. Yeah. So they've given her a new chest with some sort of boobies, but not complete boobies, and a brand new head, and then open hands, because girls can't have closed fists. They have to have open hands. Again, I don't like the color scheme. I've never liked the Victorion color scheme. I think it's kind of lame and poo. It does come with a new weapon, which is a weird crossbow bow thing.
Yeah, I don't think I ever worked out what. Oh, I think I have a holding it by. There's a port in the cross piece, you can have a hold instead, so it looks more like a crossbow.
Ah, okay. Yeah, it's
Like a little
it's
wrist bow
awkwardly
thing.
held to be a bow.
Yeah, it's an odd weapon, but you can see where it's stuck into the car mode. You can
Yeah.
actually hold it with that port as well, and that looks a lot better.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think about Dust Up? Because I'm again the face is it's a little like flat, I guess. I feel it need to be more angular.
I mean, I think it's just the way they photographed it, because I actually quite like the head sculpt for Dust Up and Flow Spade.
Hmm.
And it's, the thing is, I can't disagree about the deco. I'd like for red. The reds have been really nice across all of these, but it's that green because it's so aggressively like medical.
Desaturated. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, medical's not too bad to say.
It's like
Yeah.
medical scrubs or it's and it's a shame because there's a lot here. They all have little bits of Cybertronian graffiti on them
Yeah.
in places, which is a nice touch. And they do at least have interesting color layouts, although her robot mode probably is the least interesting of all of them. But the car mode layout it's just the colors. If it wasn't that green,
I mean, to be fair, the color layout for the car mode, I think, is pretty similar to Dead Ends, right? Similar.
yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Obviously, there's no issue with the bicep joint on this one, that's nice. That's obviously a positive, at least there. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I think Flow Spade looks a lot better. I'm a little shocked that they never made her into Nightbird. I'm kind of glad that they restrained themselves.
You know what I really love about Flow Spade?
Mm-hmm.
Her face gives big Crasher energy.
It does. A kind of ninja Crasher. If the Crasher randomly decided to become a ninja for some reason.
You could imagine that they're the same genotype of Transformer.
She's got big stompy feet as well, so that would work as well for her. Yeah. Yeah, I like this one. This one obviously has way better color placement. The purple stripe for the forearm, I can let go. It looks intentional.
Because you still have, they've used the same purple for this bonnet and the grill.
Yeah, it looks a bit more intentional, I feel.
It feels, it works better as a complete thing than it did on,
Is that copium? Maybe.
Possibly. But also you have the extra paint deco on the crossbow, which again, they've got to hold in a really weird way.
Yeah. I do like the painted gold for the bow bit, the wings bit on it. I think that makes it look a bit more interesting as well. XL Head says Victorian doesn't exist, only Megatronia. Mr. White says, "Oh yes, I agree with Big D. Very Crasher-esque." I would agree. Yeah. And that is the dead end use of all the modes. So Big D, we've been going for about 2 hours. Do we do Brawl or should we save Brawl for next time?
I think we go out on a high because I don't think I could cope with doing Brawl.
Actually, how many Brawls are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's 8 Brawls to go through, which is enough.
And we're going to have words about Brawl. We really are.
Yeah, Brawl's not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
So much disappointment.
Yeah. So, Big D, where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found? Where next week we shall talk about more deluxes. Well, one more deluxe. And then Voyagers, I promise.
When I'm not being forced by Andy to go through the many, many, many redecos of Combiner Wars. No, otherwise, let's see. I am an occasional contributor to UKAnime.net, where I'm one of the resident mech heads. With Mr. Gruff, I am his loyal minion over in the Deeper Dives, where we take a wander down articles of yore from White Dwarfs of years gone by and inevitably find a new project we both want to start and realize we don't have enough money to do so. And then with Mr. White, we do a little thing called Fluff and Busters, where we find a movie and we record a commentary track for it, because we love commentaries for films. For the longest time.
Is that ironic? Because I don't know why. I imagine that's an ironic statement because I know it's not true, but I imagine Mr. White's like, oh yeah, I love commentaries.
Well,
I love when they stay on topic.
Well, he knew he was getting into when he suggested doing it, so that's his own fault. But no, it's been great fun. We've just put out Running Man for Lost, which is done really nicely. In fairness, people seem to have really latched onto that, which is great. We're going to be trying to do one on Tombstone soon.
Oh, Tombstone! Oh, that's a good film.
It is.
No. I love it. I love when he just stands up in the river and screams, "No!"
Yeah. I'll be your Huckleberry.
I can be your Huckleberry. Yeah. Oh, that's such a good film.
It is. And it's got such a good cast as well. Every time I watch it, I go, wow, he was in that, and he was in it, and he was in it. Good God, this is just like a who's who of...
I think I only saw that film legit 5 years ago for the first time or something like that. I saw it late.
I'm not surprised, because it's weird. It's garnered a lot more attention from folks in the last 3 or 4 years, in fairness.
Did it not do well in the cinema or something?
It was weird because it was one of those years where you had dueling pictures. You know how you have Armageddon and Deep Impact, or Volcano and Dante's Peak? You'd have a year where came out which were very similar. Or Kevin Costner did Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
And because it was Kevin Costner he hadn't done The Postman yet. This was his big post Dancing with Wolves return to Westerns. And was a bit of a very much the Oscar bait movie, whereas Tombstone, in addition to the stuff that has come out in years since about the production of the film behind the scenes, which I'm sure we'll go into when we do the commentary, so no spoilers. But it was a much grittier sort of film. Whereas Wilder kind of embraced the myth, whereas Tombstone kind of embraced a bit more of the gritty reality of the situation. So I think Wyatt Earp did do better critically and at the box office, but oddly enough, Tombstone is one that people have remembered more fondly. So
that's very good. Excel Hedge wants to know: will we get a commentary of Spider-Man Noir?
I mean,
that's for you.
Once I get around watching Spider-Man Noir, I could probably find someone to do commentary with me on it.
I haven't actually heard if it's any good or not, to be honest. I don't know.
I've heard generally good things about it from people.
Good.
Yeah, which is...
That would be unusual for a Marvel product in this day and age. So that's nice to hear if that's true.
It's more a case of it's odd for a Sony live-action Spider-Man project.
Ah, well, there's that as well.
Yeah. But by all accounts, Nick Cage doing his first TV show.
Oh, apparently Mr. White really enjoyed Noir so far. Noir so far. Was that deliberate, Mr. White? Noir so far. Well, it looks like you'll have to talk about it with Mr. White then, Big D, because it sounds like he's seen it or seen a bit of it.
That'll be one to go in the on the list. Up there with Garb and some other ones we have lined up to at some point. The ever-expanding list. Yeah, we do. So yeah, that's Fluff and Busters, where we record film commentaries and put it out on the internet for people to listen to, either with the film, watching along, or if they want to do second screen content.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. That it? That all the things? The Big D things?
That is it for me, yes.
Oh, I have been told to tell Excel Hedge from Mr. White, we will consider it. The council has spoken. You have been warned. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy. I haven't done any streaming this week because I finished off whatever game it was I played last time, and I'm finding it really hard to motivate myself to go back to playing KOTOR because the gameplay is just so MMO, and I really don't like the way MMOs play.
Which is ironic, because I was going to suggest if at some point you fancied running a character with me and we do a little bit of the Old Republic, but yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I'm sorry. MMO, the way that MMOs play, it's just, I feel I've never liked them. I remember when I played oh god, what was it called? Guild Wars. And I only played Guild Wars because it was free, and it's so off.
Yeah.
It's so hands off in a lot of ways.
It's the irony that KOTOR was revolution because it was allowing you to play Star Wars and everyone interacted kind of like they were actually interacting with each other, but because it was still using at the time the D&D system that was running the Star Wars RPG, it's all run behind the scenes, so you're not as in control as you think. So that's the system that has been used for MMOs since day one.
Yeah. And it's a shame because like with KOTOR 1, like most of the combat systems, I'm doing power strike, power strike, power strike, power strike, power strike, power strike, heal, power strike, power strike.
Sadly, that does get a bit like more than a bit like that.
Yeah, it's rough.
You unlock some of the higher level abilities.
I mean, Power Strike is the one I just keep using.
Yeah,
because it's just like I got Master Power Strike. So
it's why people really want a decent remake, because the story of KOTOR is pretty brilliant.
KOTOR 2's got a better story, but I do agree that KOTOR 1, it's interesting at the very least.
Yeah,
KOTOR 2 has the more philosophical, interesting kind of look at the Force and stuff. We go, ooh, okay.
KOTOR 2 and KOTOR 1, in fact, are both prime examples of games that need not for remaster but for remake.
Yes, yeah.
If you took, say, the combat system from Jedi Survivor, put that into KOTOR, so it's more of a Dark Soulsy type game with
that'd be interesting, yeah.
And with the two companions at a time, I think that's got some legs to it.
I would agree. Yeah, there's definitely ways to make that work. Because I mean, like if you look at Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 1's more engaging than say like KOTOR and Jade Empire and stuff like that because they're not MMOs. But
the combat is much,
you're more involved with Mass Effect than you are with those ones. But it's still kind of ropey. But then you get Mass Effect 2, which is way better, more interactive.
It's the irony though that the combat in Mass Effect 2 and 3 and Andromeda is, you can see it evolving the whole time, and it gets better and better and better. Combat, great. But you never really have the same sort of, because the thing about Mass Effect 1 that I really enjoy is that in the mid-game, you have all these investigations you're doing.
Yeah.
And there's none of that in 2 or 3.
No,
actually, I tell like Shadow Broker and the Citadel have bits of that to them.
Yeah.
It's because it's layered over the more action-orientated approach that those two games take, which is not a bad thing. They strip away a lot of the stuff that made Mass Effect 1 a bit difficult to get into at times. So it made it way more accessible for a lot of folks. God, the infantry system alone in Mass Effect 2 and 3 is a lot easier to deal with than 1 and 1.
You barely think about it in 2 and 3, to be honest.
Yeah. Whereas in 1, you kept having to go and remove all these duplicates of stuff that just filled up your inventory.
And there are loads of different makes of weapons that all felt pretty similar. And then you had mods for those weapons, which again didn't feel that different. But you're right. It took out a lot more for 2 and 3. It took out a lot more of the RPG kind of elements of it. But I think for at least 2, 3 gets messy. 2, I think, has a much tighter story, which is why my favorite out of Mass Effect is 2, because it's a really nice focused story that isn't too like, it doesn't feel like it wastes your time, but you are more railed. You're more railroaded to the story. You don't get to do as much exploring as you did in 1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still the weirdo who will hold my hand up and say I quite liked Andromeda, even if it's got stuff missing from it, and I'm annoyed we didn't get the DLC to finish the story, because it was supposed to be the DLC to deal with the missing arc.
Okay.
Whole chunk of game that we were supposed to get, but people who bought the deluxe edition basically paid for it because they told us we were going to get DLC, and then because of that launch that was so horrendous that first week, which, bear in mind, they fixed those graphical glitches within 7 days. When I was actually able to get around to play the game, because I didn't play it immediately when it launched, I was busy with work, so I picked it up. I had it installed, played it on my week off, which came a little bit later. I had none of the graphical issues that were causing people such hilarity that first week. So, was the story compromised and stripped down from what it could have been? Yeah. But what counts is more down to EA dicking around with what they wanted BioWare to do than anything else.
XLHead says, KOTOR remake that plays more like Mass Effect 2 or 3 or Andromeda would be sweet. Hopefully that's what they're doing. I guess we'll find out in the future if this remake ever actually happens.
Yes, we can but dream.
They keep talking about it, but it's like, it feels like, there's a He-Man movie. There's a He-Man movie. Oh, there is actually a He-Man movie. But we've been hearing about a He-Man movie for like 20 to 30 years, I feel like.
Yeah.
But that is actually happening because we do have it. We know it's real because there's a trailer. That's why I care about it now.
I have tickets to go and see it on Wednesday morning.
When is it? How far is it? Like next week?
Yeah, it comes out this week.
Fuck off! Really?
Yep, 3rd June.
Fuck, jeez. Yep. Do I want to see it at the cinema? I think I'll wait for some reviews. I'm not. I think I'm kind of tempted, but I'm like, also I've seen too many things that make me sad at the cinema. So I'm like,
understandable. I mean,
and the cinema's so expensive as well these days.
There is that as well. Thankfully, I have my pass, so I only
that helps.
I pay a monthly fee and just go, I want to see this, please.
Mr. White says, "What games are you planning to run, Andy? You mean for the stream? I don't know. I'm wanting. There are games that I'm wanting to go on sale, but they never fucking go on sale. They had MechWarrior 5 Clan Wars. Yes. It was apparently a buggy mess that was on sale. I was like, well, put Mercenaries on sale, you bastards. You've got new DLC for Mercenaries. Why isn't that on sale?
That was on sale.
Mercenaries wasn't. I've had my eye on like Steam all this time, and it's not been on sale.
I bought it on sale. Well, not recently. I bought my copy of last year, but it's certainly been on sale.
No, I haven't seen it on sale.
Huh. Interesting.
I've got like Mercenaries on like my Steam watch list, and it's never popped up on sale. It's always stayed at like £20.
Huh. Interesting. Have you got the Dark Forces remaster?
The Dark Forces. Oh, from Star Wars. No, it was on a site that I used for like £1.99, but I just kept on going and then it's gone. I'm like, oh well.
That is. Aliens Fireteam Elite?
No. I can tell you the games I have on like on my cheapo site. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Black Myth Wukong, Dynasty Warriors Origin, that's not on sale. That's not in stock anymore. Blueprints, Wild Bastards, Lights of P DLC, Sworn I'm tempted by because that's £3 now. Akimbot. I had up some other pages. RoboCop Rogue City. UFO Robot Grandizer, The Feast of Wolves. Stellar Blade, System Shock 2. I might get System Shock 2 because I can get that for £4.50. That's the remaster. So that's
funny. I have both the System Shock redos they did because I bid for Kickstarters. I still haven't played any of them.
The first remaster, which looks like a better remaster than the second one, like a more substantial one. That I had a good time streaming that. That's a fun game. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. I watched George's playthroughs and he seems to have a great time with that one. Blueprints is one that scares me because it looks like you need to
think.
It looks like you need to have notebooks to record everything, and you'll actually end up with flowcharts on the walls. And
that's why I just simply boiled it down to you have to ... think, and I'm like, while streaming. Ooh, that might be hard. I wanted to get Mechanicus too, but it's shit. So I'm like, oh.
Have you ever played Blade Runner?
Blade Runner, no.
The old Westwood adventure game.
No. It's not on sale on this site. Ooh.
I mean, it's only like a couple of quid on GOG, I think, that one.
Oh, okay.
Deadpool's not available anymore. Never mind.
No. I might get like I say, maybe it'll be System Shock 2, because that's like a game I've had on my eyes for a while. Well, I'd really like to get my Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries, but again, I'll wait for it because there's no way it'll stay at £20. It'll come down eventually at some point.
Yeah, should do.
Yeah, there's no reason it should be floating up there for that much anyway.
I'm actually surprised that that's not been.
It doesn't make sense, does it? You have a new DLC for your game, you reduce the price of it, surely.
All of the other DLCs have been reduced.
Yep, just not the main game for some reason.
That's bonkers. I do need to pick up Shadow Kerensky, so I'll add that to my basket.
I'm desperate as well for Neo 3 to get reduced in price, but the cheapest is like £40. I'm like, no. I like Neo 1, I like Neo 2, but it needs to drop in price. XLHead says, wish EA and BioWare need to hurry up and port Mass Effect Collection to the Switch too. They should be able to. I got Digital Circus and Masters of the Universe this week. That must be movie-wise.
Oh, yeah, cinema, yeah.
And also, I wish Black Myth Wukong would go on sale. Oh, I know. Tell me about it. Games from China or South Korea just do not go on sale. It's so fucking annoying. Black Myth Wukong has been out for ages, and I've never seen it on sale. Actually, that's a lie. I think I've seen it on a minor sale from £50 down to like 45. I'm like, go fuck yourself. No.
Oh, I hadn't realised how cheap MechWarrior 5 Clans was down to.
Yeah, I can get it for like £10, but it's a buggy mess. I'm like, no.
I mean, it's been patched, so it's better than it was.
I've read like recent reviews, and it still says like reviews are still not positive for it. They're kind of more mixed. And
the problem with MechWarrior 5 stuff is that it's all based off of MechWarrior Online, which is not everyone's cup of tea for how mechs should play.
No, yeah, but that's not the issue that people have. It's like game crashing kind of bugs. They have issue with. Which is why I'm like, if there's I don't think they're ever gonna properly patch it because it's clear they're focusing on mercenaries rather than that one. So it's odd. Either way, I'll figure out something to do. You can find me on the Moonbase 2 places, Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast, Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, Libsyn, Facebook, ccbunker.weebly.com. The usual places, for this show. If you want to come on by next week, we'll be talking about news. Hopefully there'll be some fun news to talk about next week. I don't know. And then after that, we'll be back with Big D to, in theory, finish up the deluxe figures and maybe move on to the Voyagers finally.
One can but hope.
I think we're technically over the biggest hump, which are the deluxes. Obviously, the Voyagers, there's quite a lot to go through, but not nearly as many.
I mean, Silverbolt, I think, is the most egregious, and but we're through the worst of it at this point, I think.
Definitely. So until next time, thank you, everybody. Remember, you can join us at 9:30 in the evening UK time on a Sunday on YouTube and on Twitch. You want to join us like everybody here tonight. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming on by. We'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you again, Big D.
No worries. Always a pleasure. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.